Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tabletop Bob. My name is Bob. I'll be your game master for today, or should I say, your captain for this adventure of Star Trek as we play through the game called Star Trek Adventures by Modiphius Games. Welcome, everyone, in the YouTube chat, and hello to our special group of players. And my cousin Joey is here.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey. Well, all jokes aside, Joey, it is good to have you back on the channel. It's been quite a bit.
It's been a while.
Yeah, we'll get into what you've been doing specifically very soon. But welcome, Steph. Welcome, Stefano, Nate, and
Howdy.
John. How are we doing tonight, everybody?
Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Doing
Wonderful.
great.
I know that Nate and John are feeling great because we just finished our 2-year-long Keep on the Borderlands campaign, which was epic. It happened 2 weeks ago, and then we did our after the final roll last week, and wasn't it just a great campaign to end, and then just now we're going into a completely different new direction with this.
Yeah, I still have so many emotions.
So
The
many.
whiplash is amazing. I mean, I'm pleased to see we have differences.
So how do you make one?
Maybe
This
we
is-
together can be the greatest sum of both of us.
I was gonna say this is gonna be a real different one because one, it's not fantasy, right? This is Star Trek. This is completely sci-fi, futuristic. But two is we're learning a completely new game system, and that's going to be fun. Now, if you've seen some of the other game systems I put on the channel lately, this has been the year of the new game system. We've been doing learn to plays, basically, of different games other than D&D, and it's been quite a blast. I've had a lot of fun. We showcased Call of Cthulhu earlier this year. We did Shadow Dark. We did End of the World RPG, and now we're settling in with Star Trek Adventures. So we're going to start this session, which is our session 0. And yes, obviously, Wayne is commenting, Joey has long hair now, so
Yeah.
It's glorious.
it is a glorious mane. Look at that. We'll go around and we'll introduce the group, the panel here. We're also going to talk about a couple things. One, you could talk about, really, Joey, you want to tell us what you've been doing lately. You want to tell us you've been growing out that hair and waiting every day to see how much it grew at night. That you could tell us that. But
Wait,
you
what?
also
What is the waiting part? Like that's what.
you
Yeah.
just sit there all day and
Wait,
wait.
hold on. Do human beings just go like, oh, like I really need this to grow? Like I don't
No,
understand.
but no, Joey, you've been waiting to be back on Tabletop Bob. Like
That's
it
it.
has been your singular focus of your
That's it.
entire life.
No,
hasn't
no, no. You don't understand. You don't understand. When I'm not on Tabletop Bob, I evaporate into
just-
non-existence, and then I warp back in.
He just sits there and
Like
doesn't
someone
It's
living
like the
inside of
episode-
transporter.
It's basically like it's like one of the transporter accidents with like Jordy and
I actually heard that Bob begged you to come back on the channel for ratings.
Did I? Oh,
Yeah.
wait, is that actually true? Like, because if it's true, tell me now. I
Bob
will
wanted lower
gladly,
ratings. They were
gloat
getting
about
too.
that.
They were being too amazing.
Show us,
well, I figured
show
I'd
us the cash. Show us the cash that he gave you.
the cash.
I am-
Oh yeah, you gave me a lot of cash.
I'd love to show you it, but I have no idea what
Oh, you,
that is.
Joey
spent
actually.
it on that. He spent it on that hair.
Oh, this is free.
Hey, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
You got to get the mane and tail. You got to get the mane and tail. Now, Stefano, you played in the End of the World RPG.
I
And
did.
Joey was in that as an NPC. Do you remember that?
He was.
And no spoilers. We won't tell Joey what happened to him, but it was gruesome. It was awful. So I'm gonna come to you and John actually, because John, you played in Call of Cthulhu, the how to play. Nate, you played in the Shadow Dark.
Mhm.
Steph, you haven't played in a new like game system, and Joey, you also haven't played a new game system. So the three of you that played a new game system, really quick, we're gonna go around and you're gonna tell us what you thought about playing a brand new game. That's we got to start with that because there's a different mindset that comes into it. When we do, we'll go around. You also tell us what you know about Star Trek because I think some of us there's a varying degree of knowledge here. I obviously wanted to play this game. I have seen some Trek, but I would not consider myself to be the most knowledgeable here on this panel. But we'll go around. You'll tell us about what it's like playing a new game, John, Nate, and Stefano. and then also your love for Star Trek. Let's start with Nate, because I know you have a passion for Star Trek. Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah. I've seen all of the most recent movies, and that's it. Yeah, so I've seen just the Chris Pine trilogy. Uh, really enjoyed it. Thought it was really fun. And I don't know much else, so this is gonna be a lot of fun.
A lot of people just turned off their YouTube right now. They just closed
Close
the app.
So-
Most recent
I was
movies. I was
told.
like, Wrath of
You gotta
Khan?
get
Like,
past
what was the most recent movie you saw? Oh, shit, I forgot.
But that aside, so I'm hoping Joey and others lead me through this, but we'll have some fun. The Shadow Dark RPG was awesome. Really easy to pick up, especially if you're new to tabletop games or in general. Pretty easy to get started and a lot of fun. It's like it felt like Dungeons and Dragons, but just easy to learn.
Yeah.
And easy to digest. Yeah, right away.
I do have a feeling this might be a different experience than this Shadow Dark
I'm getting that feeling too.
for multiple reasons, but yeah, it
I've
won't
got
feel like
a bad
D&D.
feeling
but-
about this.
No,
That's
it's
Star
the
Wars.
Star Wars. Yeah, Joey is gonna call you on every
Perfect.
every mistake. Let's jump over to John. John, you have a little bit more to say about Star Trek.
Yeah, so I started with the original series and all of the movies, even a little bit of the animated series, which I'm not even sure how like canon or respected that is. All of Next Generation multiple times. That's where I really got my bread and butter growing up. Skipped over Deep Space Nine and Voyager. I'm sorry, everyone. And then watched a bit of the later Enterprise movies, and then have not caught up on any of the new Discovery or the new Picard series. I really want to. I think this is maybe piquing my interest to get back into Star Trek.
Nice.
But I consider myself like an original to Next Generation kind of person.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, and you played Call of Cthulhu with us here on the channel, and that was a robust game system, completely different than D&D. How did it feel to like play a new game system like that?
I loved it. So I actually was more engrossed in other game systems besides D&D before I got into the channel.
Yeah.
So I do love playing like other role-playing systems, and I thought Call of Cthulhu was really nice. It was definitely hard to remember like how to scale things back and play a non-D&D system, but I really loved it. I enjoyed the nuances to it and kind of the more role-playing aspect. Like we really role-played hard in Call of Cthulhu, and I enjoyed that. It's like, what do I want to do? Let me do that thing first, and then DM is going to tell me exactly how to make it happen, more so than like I want to make an Arcana check.
Yeah, like well, it comes with knowledge of the game too. Like I'm sure at some point in this game we might be like, I need to make a science and whatever check, but yeah, ultimately I think playing a new game, especially sometimes the other games are more RP heavy, right? Like Call of Cthulhu for sure was more RP heavy, but it's a full system and we only scratched the surface with it.
So I'll try my best. I'm really looking forward to learning a new system. I love D&D. By no means am I anti D&D, but I'm looking forward to being uncomfortable while learning a new system.
This is the best way to learn it. I mean, I've mentioned this many times on the channel. I also have played a lot of different RPGs outside of D&D before starting this channel. But it really, what it boils down to is you just need to play a game, right? You just need to play. You can read as much as you want, or in some cases, none at all. But you really learn the best when you play. I think that's it.
Yeah.
And that's the motto we're going with here.
Preferably live streamed for the first time.
Yes,
That's-
absolutely. Stefano, you probably played the most easy to get into RP, the rules light of the newer RPGs that we played, which was the End of the World. How was that?
I had a blast with it. I thought it was fun because creating a narrative was really fun. Also, playing a parody of yourself was awesome. Putting in stats, thinking you're trying to create yourself, and then realizing what you do in the certain situations and being like, oh, maybe I had less empathy than I thought. But CJ had just the right amount of empathy, as we all thought.
CJ did.
Not very much.
Now that was an easy.
Listen, if I'm not there to be the empathy of the group, okay, like CJ is the one that steps over that,
Yeah.
or Andrew.
Yeah,
Actually,
it was,
I've seen all of these.
was not a lot of empathy.
CJ and Andrew didn't have too much empathy.
Not a lot, I tell you that. And so that was an easy to learn system. There was very little rules. It was just D6s, and I think that it was a good intro to another RPG. Now we'll see how it fares with Star Trek. Tell us your knowledge of Star Trek.
I can do this. The truth is out there.
Joey, you have any
X-Files.
comments? Yeah.
My favorite Star Trek movie is Galaxy Quest.
There you go. That's actually not bad.
That
That's
is a Star Trek movie.
Yeah.
It absolutely is a Star Trek movie.
it's actually more Star Trek than the Chris Pine movies, right? Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
low-key, like the Orville is a Star Trek property.
It's true.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
is.
And
Yeah.
Professor Snape's in it, so he's always cool.
Yes. Rest in peace. All right, good. So now we got the three of you out of the way. Let's focus on the real people that everyone's here for. Let's start with Steph. Steph, welcome. Obviously, you play mostly on Supernatural 20 on the channel, but tell us your affiliation with other games. Like, what other games you play? I know you played some Dungeon Crawl Classics and other games before, or aside from D&D.
Yeah, I love Dungeon Crawl Classics. Sometimes it's just nice to have that. I can DM something without knowing about it very quickly, so we can get a game together. Because you know how it is trying to get people together. I know you do well on the channel, but in real life, sometimes we only have a couple of hours, and we realize 2 hours beforehand we can do it.
Yeah.
So I love Dungeon Crawl Classics. I guess other games are not like super games, but I love friend fairs, and I'm always in costume. I do a lot of cosplay, so that leads me into that's about as much as I know about Star Trek. I have seen the Orville, but but I think the most I know about Star Trek is the costuming itself. I've seen a lot of it in the Smithsonian in DC. Nichelle Nichols's Uhura costume is amazing in person. And I love Lucille Ball, which that's all original Star Trek. That's what I know the most about it.
Now, I do have to say, though, you have some knowledge of Trek through osmosis, or I guess, what is it? Is that the word, the science term, where you like being near somebody? Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I don't teach science.
Close enough.
My best friend is a massive Star Trek fan. She actually cosplayed as original Star Trek series, and she found some of the original diagrams on how they made the costumes. So she has a screen accurate costume from the original diagrams that she made
Wow.
up. It's
cool.
really impressive.
Wow.
So she's very excited that I'm on this. She thinks that hopefully this will get me more into it, and then I'll watch them all and can talk about them more.
Oh, good. So I'm helping you. I'm making you and your friend closer. That's what's happening.
Yes, absolutely.
Look at this. It's about family here, everybody. It's about family.
That's also Star Wars.
No
All right,
family.
so-
Keep family out of it. You're only as good as your abilities are. None of this. My dad was good, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Cut that out. Cut that.
Yeah. In my experience,
Wrong
there's no
one.
such thing as luck.
It's all about family.
Wrong one.
I'm
got Vin Diesel coming in.
I'm gonna Minecraft myself.
All right. Let's let Joey speak before he explodes. Joey, obviously, I'm going to preface this introduction to you, Joey. Okay. Growing up, Joey and I were always kind of opposites when it came to.
I was going to say that. I swear. Okay, yeah, no, you do it.
Do you want to tell the story? Do you want to tell the story?
No.
Okay,
You do it. I was going to say that it's the exact same thing.
Yeah, I had a feeling. We mind melded.
We
so-
mind melded.
So Joey and I have always been opposite in our feelings of like sci-fi. Like he loved the TV side of things. He was a big fan of Star Trek, the original series, and I was more of the Star Trek action adventure type sci-fi. And so
If Bobby liked Pepsi, I liked Coke.
yeah. But we're all in the same vein, so we got along very well, especially as kids. And we would just, we had our camps. I was Nickelodeon, he was Cartoon Network. I was Pepsi, he was Coke. It legitimately was like that. So we forever, Joey's been like, you got to get into Star Trek. You got to get into Star Trek. And so we ended up with COVID and everything. I was a lot of time inside. I just my daughter was born right at the start of COVID, and I was going to be inside, and I needed something to watch. And I was like, Joey's been telling me to get into Star Trek forever. So I was like, Joey, what should I start watching? And he was like, you got to watch. You should watch The Next Generation first. And he even suggested against maybe even season 1, but I'm a person I have to complete, right? So I started from season 1, but I was hooked. I went through the whole Star Trek Next Gen over the next couple of months. Through that summer, I finished the whole thing. I went on to Deep Space Nine at his recommendation. And then damn NBC and Peacock stole my Star Trek, so I couldn't watch it anymore. But I watched one season of Deep Space Nine, and I watched maybe 2 episodes of season 2. I also ended up watching through Joey, because he showed me The Trouble with Tribbles, which was my first Star Trek episode I've ever seen. You remember that, Joe? We were in your room at your parents' house?
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. But Joey's like, this is what's going to draw you in. And I was like, The Trouble with Tribbles. So
I was 10. Okay, I was 10.
he's not wrong. He was a kid when he did. So we watched Trouble with Tribbles in his room. And I seen maybe a third of all of the original series episodes, but out of order. So that's basically my affiliation with Star Trek. I do love Star Wars and sci-fi in general. I'm newer to the Trek scene within the last couple years. And then when I got into Next Gen, I told Joey I wanted to play this RPG. This is years ago. Remember? This is 2-3 years ago now.
Yeah, that was a lot.
We're making it happen. So Joey, I've given you a nice segue here. Tell us about the Trekkie you are.
Okay. First thing you need to know about Star Trek is that it is just better than Star Wars in every possible way. Star Wars is a fun popcorn movie that you can watch with your family because it's about family at the end of the day. But Star Trek is a religion. Okay, Star Trek is a vision for what the world should be. It literally changed television. It's monumentally important in so many different ways that I honestly can't describe. I've always had a passion for Star Trek since I was a wee lad.
Since you were a youngling.
A youngling, no.
Oh God.
An ensign. Okay?
Dare I say amen? Amen?
And yeah, something about it just spoke to that more philosophical side of my brain, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I like this.
I do agree with you 100%. Star Trek is the more philosophical, it is. If there are certain episodes of Next Gen that are just it's like you're in a philosophy class. It's rather than just watching TV, you're learning philosophy through the Star Trek, whatever's going on, the drama in the episode, and it's so well done. I love Next Gen, so we decided we're gonna play Next Gen as the era for this game, and I think why don't we just do it? Let's jump in. Should we jump in, everybody?
Let's
Yeah, do it.
Sounds good.
Good
All right,
luck,
so
fellas.
couple things about this game. I put links down into the description for Modiphius, which is the creator of this game, so you can check out their stuff. They have I want to check more of them out. I got a bunch of the stuff like I said 2 years ago when I got into it. Never really touched it till now, but they have so many different RPGs, and this is not a sponsor. They didn't, I didn't reach out to them or anything like that. They just they have a ton of stuff. Go to their website. They have a Conan the Barbarian game. They've got all these different things that you were like, oh, that would be a cool RPG to play. So maybe we'll check out some more of them in the future. But this one is, I think it came out in 2017 or 2018, so it's been around for a while. It's got a lot of supplements, but we're going to try to keep it a little tighter here. I sent everyone the core rulebook. I've sent them all the alpha and beta quadrant source books. And then we're going to be using a bunch of different tools from Modiphius, like the character generator, the ship generator, and we're going to be using, obviously, Roll20 for our rolls. But we'll be doing all the Roll20 stuff in between now and next session. Today, I really just want to focus on character creation and kind of as we go along, talk about the rules as they become important, or they become relevant to the discussion. I think that this game has a lot of rules. It's as robust, if not more, than Call of Cthulhu in terms of rules. So it's not like Shadowdark, and it is not like End of the World, but I do think it's got less than D&D. The rules here all stem from, like, mostly I would say 3 or 4 different concepts. And we're going to talk about that as we go through. But the first thing I want to say is this is a 2D20 system. So every time you make a check, you're going to be adding 2 scores together, and you want to a discipline and a characteristic. And basically it's like kind of like having a strength check plus an athletics check. Combine it, basically. And you want to get under the target number. Now, the difficulty could be 2, 3, 4, whatever it could be. It could be 1, could even be 0, depending on the scenario. But you're always rolling at least 2 d20s, and you want to get as many successes under that target number. So when we switch over to roll to our character view
Is it
here,
difficulty 0 just like impossible?
No, difficulty 0 is actually something. Well, we'll talk more about the difficulties later, but it's actually something super easy. So, yeah, we'll get into it.
I thought you have to roll under.
You do. So difficulties, you have to get you have to roll under, but every success is what you total up. So if you got 1 success, that would solve a difficulty 1 task. If you got 2 successes, it would be difficulty 2. And critting, which is a natural 1, would give you 2 successes. And it's kind of basically that. It all stems off of that system. You're rolling 2d20 and counting how many results you got. If you get over the target number, you don't succeed. If you get the target number or under, you succeed. And like I said, a crit is 2. So it ends up being possible to get quite a few successes on a roll. There's also so many ways to get extra dice, to get extra results. There's like tons of ways to do that. In fact, I took 4 pages of solid notes on a yellow college rule notebook. Look at this. 4 pages of notes about this system. So I am prepped. I felt like I was studying for a test. Like, that's what I felt like going into this. But anyway, we'll get into more of the rules. I don't want to bog this down with rules, because as we play, I want to talk about the ones that become relevant. But I have the character generator up here. Now, I am not going to create your characters. You're going to be doing it on your computers. But I will showcase as we go through. And we can also make the captain. One thing we discussed in our pre-show notes, pre-show meeting, was that the group decided they didn't want to actually be the captain, which is totally fine. The game actually lends itself to be sort of like having a stable of characters and letting some characters from the ship go on away missions or things like that. It doesn't always make sense for like Picard or Kirk to be on the mission, even though it happens quite a bit in the show. So we're on the Modiphius character generator here. I'm going to start us off by saying, everybody click on the character and starships section. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to make our starship first. I think this is going to be a better way of making the characters, because we'll decide what our ship is designed for. We'll talk about its missions, its primary goals. We'll talk about the upgrades it's got and what size it is. And that, I think, will actually help us evolve our characters as we create. So let's do this first. So I'm going to click on the core rules. We're also using the Alpha Quadrant and Beta Quadrant books, and that's what we're going to be using. So I'm clicking our sources. Then I'm going to go down to Next Generation is the era that we're playing in, and then it's going to take me to this. So we're going to create a starship. Most of you will be picking main character, okay? But we're going to do main character in a second. Do starship, and you'll see it on my screen. The first thing, and you can read along if you'd like to make it on your screen. We're going to do a, let's see here, standard build. The year is 2371. And how big of a vessel is this? It's a ship. It's not a runabout. Let's create it. Let's see. This looks different than when I last made it. Maybe I picked the standard one. Did I pick the standard?
The one on my screen right now has way more options.
Yeah, mine looks different than yours too.
Yeah, why is that?
I don't know. Did you click Next Generation? Did you click both Beta and
I did. I thought I did.
Alpha?
I thought I
Akira
did.
class, Constellation.
Let's go back.
I have a ton of. I'm with Nate. Defiant.
Yeah.
Defiant,
Excelsior,
Galaxy.
Galaxy.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right,
Excelsior.
let me actually make sure I have the right link here.
Into infinity.
I could do an Excelsior class.
Oh, cool.
Like Excelsior class is something in between. Like it's not as big as like Galaxy class.
You want to do an Intrepid class?
Intrepid is the Intrepid's not the one in Wrath of Khan, is it?
I don't think.
Oh wait,
so.
no.
Isn't
the
that a
Excelsior-
Constitution class? I could
So
be
the
wrong.
Constitution class is like the original Enterprise.
Yeah.
This is it, right? Everybody, you see this now? It's more like what yours is.
Yep, there
Yes.
you go. That's what we have.
Yeah.
So
Why don't we add up the numbers and choose the one that has the highest numbers?
You can. There's no downside to this. It's just gonna. It won't change much of the actual story. You could pick the best one, which is the Galaxy
an
class.
Intrepid class.
I-
Yeah.
Well, I think it's the Galaxy class is the best, isn't it?
Oh, it is?
Yeah, the Galaxy class is like the massive one.
Yeah, it's the biggest ship
Intre-
in the.
Intrepid's got some 11s though.
So
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
That
Saucer's
was going
got-
off of stats.
that's true.
Let me,
Saucer
let me
separation
Google
sounds
what the
like-
Intrepid class is.
But the Galaxy class has better weapons and structure. So
It's going to improve warp drive. I was just thinking
Oh,
the
yeah.
Saucer
Oh, the
separation.
Intrepid class is from Voyager.
okay. There you
Oh,
go.
that's what. Okay.
So
I just didn't want to deal with like having to separate the saucer. It just was always annoying whenever that had to happen.
no, that's fun. That's like do you save the people or do you let them go? Like it's
save
it's
the
good.
civilians.
Yeah.
What's an Akira class? That one looks pretty good.
That's small, right?
I have no idea. So
Scale 5.
scale is the size of the ship. Yes, exactly. So the Galaxy is 6, and it's the biggest. So if you want to go with the biggest and best, I'd probably go with the Galaxy class. Or if you want to pick a smaller one, you can go with the other ones. Just
I kind of liked the Akira class.
let's do it.
Rapid fire.
Yeah, it's like
torpedo.
it's not like a shuttle or anything.
No, it's big. It's scale 5. It's
Wait.
huge. It's huge. All the like the runabouts and things like that are scale like 1 or 2 or something like that.
Wait, the Akira class?
Also
Akira is
great
five.
anime.
All right, let's go with the
Akira.
Akira. Let's go with the Akira.
Akira is a great anime.
We're going with Akira.
Yeah, I think Penguin
Sweet.
nailed
Wait,
it.
is that the biggest ship?
It's the second category below. It's the category below Galaxy.
It seems faster and more attack, if I'm not incorrect. An 11 on the weapons,
And
All right.
structure.
We'll
Yeah,
go
it's
with
pretty
it.
good.
We'll
10
go
on
with it.
engines.
They'll give us a little bit of info at the end once we
I don't
make it.
know. I don't know.
Now, this is what you have to decide. What is your ship primarily doing? Is it strategic and diplomatic? Is it a pathfinder reconnaissance? Is it technical test bed, tactical operations, scientific survey, crisis and emergency response, or a multi-role explorer?
I
are
know
your
what I
thoughts?
want.
Hold
Yeah,
up.
same.
I don't know if we. An Akira. I'm sorry. I'm like doing a lot of Googling.
Do it.
An Akira class starship is like a warship.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You can.
It's like a
you can-
warship and like espionage.
we
ship.
can. We
However
can
you wanna do
absolutely
that.
be that. Yeah.
That
That doesn't mean that you aren't going to. Joey, it doesn't mean that whatever is going to happen in the adventure is going to be war.
No.
Should we be something more lame? Do you want to be something
Yes,
more lame?
I would love a lame starship. Like I don't know, there's something cute about like okay, like we gotta band together for our like ship that's like this underdog in a lot of these fights.
I am happy
cute.
to feed into the happiness of Joey.
So do you want to go?
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that. I do think being like
I don't want to be a warship. you
So
know
let's
what I mean?
go
Like,
Intrepid class because that's pretty much a downgrade in terms of like combat. And
that is
then,
more of a science vessel.
Yeah, and then
Sweet, let's
it's
do
got
it.
the extra
All right.
medical. It's got the advanced sensor suites. Let's do that. All right.
yeah,
So
we get to move faster.
now, do you want to be scientific then? If that's the case, you're going that way, or do you
All
want
right,
to be
let's
multi-role?
let's try and destroy a Romulan base.
Now you want to destroy.
No, see, I want to be a massively offensive based ship that is for exploration. So now you're going the opposite of me, Joey.
Joey wants to be a scientific ship
No,
made
I'm
to
messing around.
destroy.
Oh, we got Coke and
Um,
Pepsi over here.
I don't know. We
Yeah.
could do something. We could do something diplomatic, or charitable, philanthropic. It doesn't necessarily.
I
scientific.
vote
But we could do
scientific and
I'm cool
survey.
with it.
Nobody wants to be an like no one else. Okay, I guess you do, Nate. You want to
Nate, Nate's put
I
it up.
said
Science. Nate's put up
and
science.
survey.
Steph, what do you feel
but
about?
I'm down for the whatever.
Steph, what do you feel about science and survey?
I like this. I was thinking the science and survey operations, or just the multi-role explorer. I mean, that's. I mean, it feels like the multi-role is I like the rugged design and secondary reactors.
True.
I like improved hull integrity, so we
Yes.
don't get blown up.
Okay, so
I don't
maybe
know
the
what I'm
multi-roll. Yeah, maybe
I'll
just
be right
a general.
back. I just caught a bug.
Okay. Okay, Joey. I think the multi-roll might be. Joey's going to release the bug out into the wilds of.
Joey is already becoming the worst commander of all time. No, he's living the Prime Directive. This is what Joey is doing.
Yes,
Oh
he is.
my
Not even here.
god.
The Prime Directive is already Joey's lifestyle. To do no harm. To live.
All right, so now we get to select at least one of the talents offered by the mission profile. I think you said you liked rugged design, which makes us a little easier to repair, and durable, right?
Oh, cool.
No, wait. What did we choose for the stat before that?
Oh, we don't get all of these?
You get to
I'm
pick
so
from that.
stressed. I don't like.
I think we picked the multi-role explorer.
Yes,
which
multi-role,
is like
yeah.
just middle of the line for everything.
Yeah,
Thank you, Steph.
Yeah,
and then
and then we get to pick how we want to do it. Like improved hull integrity
Oh.
sounds good.
Oh, but rugged design sounds fun.
Wait, I thought we
Yeah.
got all of those.
no, you don't get all of them. You get to pick.
Nope, we pick one of each of these. We've been going the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
So I think rugged design is not bad because, like I said, it makes it easy to repair. It makes every system just a little bit more durable. And we'll get into Starship stuff later. Not every adventure is going to be a battle, right? So, like,
Yeah,
you know,
I would love something besides armor and whole stuff. Something
Yeah.
interesting.
so the other one was secondary reactors in case, we need to generate more energy for some reason. It could be a variety of reasons you want to generate more energy.
Secondary reactors sounds good.
Yeah, I think, Steph, you said that and rugged design were the two you liked.
Yeah, those are the two that I was thinking sound the most useful.
All right, so why don't we, if Nate and Joey are good, that's a majority. We'll rule secondary reactors as our upgrade.
Yeah,
And-
I'm
Cool.
with Steph. That sounds great, Steph.
Okay, and then traits. This is kind of like the traits that you're going to get as a character here. But the traits here are like if it's a brand new vehicle. So this could be something like this is a brand new commissioned vehicle, and you are the first crew on it, and maybe that's how your characters are meeting. It could be something you are an old crew, you've been around for a long time, a legacy vessel, something of renown or, long serving. You can decide. It's basically kind of like anything that would characterize your ship. It doesn't have to be like young or old either. Like I would say the Millennium Falcon, a trait it might be some, just to give it a Star Wars fans, a layman's comparison, it would be something along the lines of like, a hunk of junk or something like that. That could characterize the vehicle. And this comes into play when certain things happen in the game and, you have a jury-rigged ship and it's got all these add-ons that you've done and that might benefit you in a certain situation or, maybe being not as obvious or, something like that. That could be a benefit. So you just got to pick something for your ship. Do you have any ideas?
Okay, I do like the idea of us being a new crew or an old ship that's just been passed
Yeah.
around.
Like
Ooh.
all reliable.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
mixing
like
and
that,
matching.
Joey. I was
Yeah.
thinking the same thing.
Okay, so is the idea that this ship maybe was
Like we're all low key kind of demoted to this ship, but
Yeah.
like we make it
Or
our friend.
new. Or new.
Oh yeah, new recruits. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're new.
Maybe depending on what rank you choose, you might end up being kind of demoted. Yeah, exactly. I can
Yeah.
see that.
For me, I would say demoted sounds interesting, but what about like this is a suicide mission?
Well, there really aren't. I don't think. I mean, based on my knowledge of Star Trek, they wouldn't have a suicide mission. It would be like, yeah, maybe you're not the best crew, and this ship just got refitted. It was an old ship that had to like get a bunch of upgrades just so it can actually be seaworthy, space worthy. And they did that, and they needed somebody, so they picked you.
Yeah, they just don't have a lot of faith in us.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
It's like maybe they can succeed in the. I mean, again, I don't know what part of what part of the Star
Yeah.
World we're gonna be in, but like
Yeah.
they can succeed in the outer realms. Like they can handle it. Maybe hopefully.
If I am not
So, who
mistaken,
cares?
this is going to take place in the beta quadrant, the adventure we're playing in.
So we're pretty
Okay.
like central.
It's
Okay.
not. Yeah, it's not. It's not the home quadrant,
It's-
but it is. It is the. It's known. It's known worlds.
It's not Firefly.
No, you're not on the outer rim or anything like that.
All right.
So are
All
we
right.
going with like old hand-me-down?
Yeah, old hand-me-down is what we'll put.
Yeah.
I like to say I like with the secondary reactors though. It's like an old hand-me-down that people have modified over the years to their liking.
Yeah, old
It's like a
hand-me-down.
rental property.
It's got like technology from like the 23rd and like 22nd century. Like
It's like those Hondas that you see that are just like jacked out in certain ways, but not in other ways.
Murdered out.
Sometimes the lights just go off.
Yeah.
So here's what I'll put. I'll put old hand-me-down with new kicks.
You
Yeah.
like
can't
that.
shower and flush the toilet at the same time.
Well, that's everywhere.
Now, this might be something we have to figure out later, but we got to name the starship. It is not a old ship, so there are lots of ways you can name these. I mean, look, the Enterprise obviously is just kind of a name, but they have plenty of ships that are like the, whatever, the, like the Melbourne is one, right? Like, because the world is one big community, so it could be a name of a nation, it could be a name of some or mythological or mythical figure. It could be really.
the New York.
Do you want? We could.
What about the Beagle?
Beagle, like the dog. You mean?
Eagle?
Like Darwin's ship? Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Snoopy.
The Magellan, the Endeavor.
The Skywalker.
Honestly-
the reference to Darwin's dog is not bad.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Oh,
not
okay.
bad because it is sort of like a hand-me-down.
Down
ship,
on its
right?
luck. Yeah. Survival of the fittest.
It's and it's a science ship, but it's not very good.
The HMS, I don't know if we could do the HMS, but the Beagle is right. That's Darwin's thing. The HMS Beagle.
You want to make it the does anybody like or the Darwin even
Wait,
just
we
the
could
Darwin?
just call it the HMS Beagle. Wait, is that a real ship?
Maybe.
I mean, that's Darwin's ship's name.
What about like Darwin itself? The Darwin.
Oh,
Sounds good.
That's a little too on the nose.
Too
On the nose.
That's
Come
like
on.
saying, that's like saying calling it Order 666. Okay, you get rid of 1 6.
well, if we're gonna do that, can we do the original? Can we do the original order? Order 9066.
Just Order 66. That's it.
No, we gotta get rid of the 90. We can't actually do the Japanese internment one. Is that no? Just George Lucas's version is okay, but the original one is too bad. They're both horrible, but okay.
And meanwhile, the clones are like, "Are you sure, sir? That's what you want to call it."
So the
Yes.
HMS Beagle, we're going with it.
The Beagle. The Beagle.
Uncle John?
Why not the HMS Beagle?
All right, the Beagle.
The
No.
Beagle.
The HMS Beagle.
The HMS
it's
can
named
afford.
after Darwin ship specifically.
It
The
says here,
USS HMS Beagle.
Oh, I love it.
I love it.
Nate.
Perfect.
Oh, I love that.
unfortunately, it says here the Federation ships always have the prefix USS.
Yeah,
is-
the
which is why we're
USS
the
HMS
Beagle.
Beagle.
Then. USS Beagle.
We can't
Wait.
be Her Majesty's ships.
Can't
Oh,
it be
wait,
the
that's what
USS
stands for?
HMS?
HMS
I
is
have no idea.
Yeah, just add the other letters.
Yeah, I
USS
meant just-
HMS Beetle.
Yeah.
Oh,
With
I
the
love
H-
that. Nate, that's so.
No, take it back.
Oh, that's
Take
so
it back.
good.
I love that so much.
USS HMS.
Thumbs up if you want USS HMS.
No.
In the chat.
It's
Tell
done.
Chat,
It's done.
Chat, what are you
What
doing?
have I
Chat,
done?
tell us if you want USS HMS.
That's so dumb.
This is already going to be
But
the
we're
worst
dumb.
tweet.
That's why they gave us this piece of shit.
Oh my god. Okay.
We'd like to call it the
Old-
HMS Beagle. All right, but it's now the USS HMS Beagle.
This is the USS HMS Beagle.
I imagine there is a part of this ship that if we open up the door, we just it's supposed to be a kitchen and we just enter the vacuum of space.
Yeah.
This ship is so pieced together and so haphazard.
All right, now one that we're going to argue over a ton is the registry number. So like the
United Spaceship Her Majesty's Ship Beagle.
We gotta make the HMS stand for something different, right? It's like the United Spaceship.
Her Majesty ship. Okay, so real quick,
J-
the
Jason,
the-
Medically-
Jason Farrell
phonetically
said the
modified.
USS Fubar.
To be argued over.
To be argued over. We could always change it if we want to, but the registry number, this is something I don't really care about, so this would be any 5-digit number. Okay. So,
66669.
I knew you were-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There
The
we
same
go.
as my luggage.
The
So
same.
there's 5 members. There are 5 members playing.
Yep.
Can we all pick one number?
Yes, let's do that. There we go.
Oh, can we all hold it up at the same time?
I mean,
Yes.
we could also go. The Beagle set sail on 1831.
No. We're gonna do this. I like that idea, Steph, but we're not doing it that way. Here's what we're gonna do. In our Roll20 chat, everybody type in a number, and when I hit enter, you'll hit enter, and it'll go whatever number it comes in as. That's our number. Okay.
Wait, I'm
Whatever
on
order it
Roll20.
comes in, I'll switch us over to our Roll20 screen here. Whatever roll comes in is the number. Okay. You just type one simple number. Are you all ready?
Wait, how are we doing this?
One
We're just
digit?
In
Oh,
our
yeah.
roll.
0
How
through
would you have to
9.
go on Roll20?
Yep.
a D10?
No, 0 or I guess he could do that.
How about
Why
this,
don't we-
Joey? If you're not in Roll20, you'll just say your number out loud when I say enter.
Okay.
Okay. All right, here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1, enter.
9.
Okay, so your number, Joey, was said after Stefano's, but before Nate's came in. So it's going to be 67798.
Okay.
67798.
6, 7, 7, 9, 8.
67798.
All right,
We
nice.
did it.
All right.
That was the most important part.
67798. You really tried to get that 6 and the 9 there, didn't you, Joe?
8675309.
Okay, so here we go, everybody. Explore. I will send you the information to your Gmail when I get it, but I've just downloaded our ship. Here it is. We have the USS HMS Beagle. It is service date 2371, and it is a multi-role explorer from the Federation. Its traits are Federation Starship, an old hand-me-down with new kicks. Intrepid class Federation ship. NCC 67798. All right, so this is what it comes with. It comes with standard weaponry and things like phaser rays, photon torpedoes, tractor beam, etc. And you can see it all here on the screen. I'll send this to you later. But now that we have our ship, and we are a multi-role, but maybe the focus leaning towards science and exploration, now we can create our characters. So everybody go back to the adventures here. Let's go back to history. Let's go to characters now. So now what you're going to do is you're going to select the alpha quadrant and the beta quadrant, and the core is already selected. And we're going to hit next generation, and it'll start your character creation. And you're going to click Starfleet personnel.
Right.
All right. Once you get to this scene, you're going to see this. The game has a system for making characters called the life path creation. It's actually the standard. It's actually not the odd way of doing it. It's the normal way of doing it, because this game focuses a lot more on story. And in fact, it has a lot of rules in the game that are designated to facilitate the story like a Star Trek television show. And I know that sounds weird, but it actually, I think, it works out really well. I have played this game before. I played it 3 times at the start of the pandemic with a random group I found online. That's my only experience with it. Somebody was teaching other people how to play, found some Facebook group, joined up, and I played, and I kind of didn't really know how to play after that. I mostly relied on them to learn the rules, and then never touched it again for like 2 years. Now that I'm GMing it, I have done a good amount of reading, and I feel pretty prepared. I'll guide you through this, but basically it goes in kind of like the order you see here. You select your species. You'll be picking through your ability scores, so to speak, and then you'll pick like a bunch of different things about your character. And as it goes through, it doesn't just say you're going to pick these options. It's thinking about the story and the background of your character that drive the results. So let's start with species. We'll just go in the order I have
Wait,
here.
sorry. If I click on something and I want to go back, I don't press
History.
the back button.
No, you hit
History.
history on the left-hand side, the blue tab.
Got it. Cool.
All right. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say we're just going to go in the order of my screen here. So, Nate, it seems like you had no real concept in mind, correct, after our first session?
Yep.
So maybe it'll be good to go with you because you might be very open to picking something and just going with it. And then we'll
good.
just go around the screen. So Nate, Joey, John, Stefano, and then Stephanie.
Okay. Not to derail. But I feel like
You're going to.
the way in which our I think we should pick rugged design for our ship instead of.
Oh my goodness!
I think. Does it not make more sense? Like, I feel like we didn't really figure out what our theme was.
I think the ship is made. I think the ship is made. It needs a crew, and we need people to man it. The ship is made, Joey.
All right, secondary reactors to this. We're doing it.
Yes, we're doing it. Now, there's a plenty of species to choose from here. We're not going to go over all of them, but obviously there's the classics. You got human, which is, big part of Starfleet. This is the new next gen era, so you've got Klingons, you've got your Vulcans, you even have Ferengi as an option. I know that Ferengi didn't become part of Starfleet until later, but it's all within the realm of possibility here. So all of these options are available to you from those quadrant books and the main rule book. So let's talk to Nate real quick. Nate, what are you thinking? Or are you going to randomize it?
I'm happy to randomize. I was thinking Trill.
Oh,
That's the only one I really know about so far.
okay. So why don't we go with Trill then? If you want to pick Trill, go for it.
Let's do it.
Okay. So you're going to pick Trill, and when you pick
Yeah.
Trill, it'll tell you all the
Trill.
things that you can get here. So being a Trill, it says, you hail from their home world of the same name. They look pretty much like humans. Most of these Star Trek aliens are all just basically a small prosthetic on the face to make them look slightly different. So, varying, obviously, Klingons and stuff like that look a little different, although that changed even through the series. But, you pick whatever race you want to be, species you want to be, and then it tells you what your attributes, traits, and talents are that are available. And it kind of gives you an option of a suite of things to pick from. You obviously don't get everything right now. You're going through and you get something for your traits. So you'll have your abilities kind of adjusted. You'll have your traits that you could pick from, and you're going to go through and select the ones you want. We'll come back to you in a second, and you'll tell us what you've kind of decided. Okay, Nate?
Sounds good.
All right, Joey, what are you picking?
I'm going human.
Human, okay.
Born and raised in Louisiana.
Oh, a little southern action here.
I'm not gonna do an accent, but
Does everyone from Louisiana have to have a southern
this is
accent?
the 24th century. Do not be racist.
That's right. However, there are plenty of Star Trek characters that do have accents.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Scotty
Yeah,
being
Joey.
yeah. It's like every nationality represented. Okay, good. So you're going human, which obviously human are probably the most versatile of the group. They don't have a specific attributes that they have to take from. They could pick from any of the options. So, for human, it's every one of them. And I'm going to run through the options here. So, control, daring, fitness, insight, presence, and reason. This is for everyone who plays D&D or other typical fantasy games. Your equivalents of strength, dexterity, con, intelligence, wisdom, charisma. There's some nuance to these. There's more mental than physical. The only physical one here is really control, I would say, and fitness. Control is your finer motor skills, your dexterity to an extent, when it comes to touch and things like that. But fitness is pretty much your all-around athletic use ability, right? So that's your attribute. And the other ones are all nuanced mental stats. So you've got daring, which is your bravery, your courage. It could also be your ability to handle stress. You've got insight, which is kind of like wisdom, presence, which is kind of like charisma, and reason, which is kind of like intelligence. All right, so you're all selecting things. Joey, we'll come back to you after you pick your human abilities and traits. John, were you thinking human as well?
Nah, I was not thinking human at all. I was, I'm gonna play a Betazoid.
But you are going to go with the accent.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm playing a Betazoid, and I'm gonna have a good old time.
Good. We hope you do. Now, as a Betazoid, they're the if you're familiar with Star Trek, everybody, the Betazoid are like Deanna Troi, the counselor on the ship. In Next Gen, she's a Betazoid. They have this special ability. You can be either an empath or a telepath. A lot of them end up tending to go into the empath side of things, but in this game, they do have the option. It's kind of like a choice you make at character creation. And then there's also insight, presence, and reason are the abilities that you'll choose from to increase. So if you're going to pick Betazoid, they also look very human. So it's kind of easy to blend in with other humans. What were you? We'll come back to you, John, but you tell me what you're thinking of, and we come back.
Yes.
Stefano. Now, so you don't have a lot of knowledge about Star Trek. Are you? Have you looked into some of these races, or what are you thinking of right now?
I read from the core book some of them.
Yeah. Which ones speak to you?
I could also roll a species.
You could. You want to roll?
Sure.
Okay, go for it.
Love it.
Do it.
But although it does say roll core, roll alpha, roll beta, so I don't know which one to roll.
Did you like the core ones? You can do the core if you want.
Core was the only one. I was a little late to the alpha and beta, so I'll roll a core. If I get something that somebody already wants to pick, though, I could re-roll.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna click on it, and I'm a human. Lame. All right. All right. You know what? I was thinking either Tellarite or Vulcan.
Go, yeah,
Oh.
go for it.
Go for it. Which
Honestly, we don't have a Vulcan. I don't think we have a Vulcan.
Well, Steph, you didn't have an idea, did you either?
I did not. I was gonna roll for mine.
Oh,
So.
okay. Do you want to wait till Steph rolls?
Sure.
Okay. Steph, you want to roll?
I'll pick the one that hasn't been used.
There's 25 options, but yes.
Shoot.
Okay. I think I'm going to roll the alpha species. See what I get.
Ooh.
Even if it's something that I don't know, I can quickly read up on it by next.
Sure.
By
Yeah.
next. So
Yeah. You'll get into character, I'm sure.
I got Vulcan for that one. So
Okay.
so Stefano, if you want to be Vulcan, I'll roll again.
I'll be a Tellarite.
This works out perfectly. So Vulcan for Steph, and Stefano's going to go Tellarite. I think a lot of people know what the Vulcans are. Obviously Spock. It's original series, but they have Vulcans all over Next Gen as well. They are the kind of the foil to the Romulans, who are a traditional bad guy in the show, and the evil empire. The Romulan Star Empire is basically the one of the main villains in Next Gen. And Tellarite. I actually forgot what these were. What are they?
They're the blue people.
The blue people.
With
It says
Amorphous blue people, or the ones with the little antennae?
They have the little antennae, yeah.
Okay.
it says theirs is a
Oh.
culture noted for being abrasive and
no,
argumentative,
wait,
with
maybe
a
I'm thinking about
stubborn
something
pride, quick tempers,
Yeah.
and little patience.
no, that's an Andorian.
Sounds great.
I'm an idiot. That's an Andorian. And
Oh,
Tellarite
wow.
is like a
Yeah, they look like someone overcooked a human face.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
They have like a melted face.
Yeah.
They're pretty ugly.
Let me see. I gotta find this. Where would I find this?
That's
Although
subjective.
they can grow great beard though. I'm into that.
For yourself or for your mate?
Here's the
Oh
rule
man,
book.
what are Trills into? I'm down.
Those are into being chill.
I'm down. Yeah, I'm a chill Trill.
This is Next Generation Starfleet. Everyone loves everybody.
Sweet. Then yeah,
It's
I
on
like beards.
page 108 of the core rulebook.
108.
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah, let's do it.
Trill.
No,
Oh
Tellarite.
wait. Hold on. Do these have the symbiote?
yeah.
They don't have to.
I was gonna do a failed initiative.
Oh,
for
who
that.
has the symbiote in Deep Space Nine? Dax, right?
Dax.
Yeah. Oh, okay. This is actually Stefano. This is actually a really cool species. So you can take a look at this. They have this symbiote thing, which is like you basically have this, like this. Yeah, I mean this like what's the word I'm looking for?
Okay,
here?
okay. So they have like a sentient parasite that basically
Parasite,
like,
that was the word.
merges
No,
with their
that's the
consciousness.
Trill. That's
Yeah,
Nate's
that's
parody.
me.
Yeah.
That's me.
Mine is the page
Oh.
above that.
Oh, what'd you choose?
Tellarite.
Oh, okay.
Can you just
Go
scroll down?
one page up.
Oh,
There's a little more. There you go.
There he is.
Yeah, yeah,
They're essentially like space dwarves,
yeah,
but not small.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't remember them.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so
I'd
this
dig
is
it.
what you're gonna be. You're gonna be a Trill. No, Tellarite. Excuse me. Nate's a Trill. You're a Tellarite. Steph chose Vulcan. John chose Betazoid, and Joey chose Human.
Yeah, I think my character was a dick and no one wanted to work with him, so I got stuck with this crew.
Do you look like this Tellarite? Here?
Well, I'm just going with that. Yeah, I look exactly like this guy.
He looks mean. He's got a mug. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. So yeah. Okay.
I
I
like how
see
you
what
went for it's not I'm misunderstood. Everyone understands me, and that's exactly how I am.
That's me. But I'm really excited, Nate. I really like the character in Deep Space Nine who has this symbiote.
Sweet.
Look into the obviously you get to choose one of these things, like the joined or the former initiate. When you do, well, actually, we're coming to you now. Do you have any ideas for some of the things you've chosen?
Yeah, I was thinking about going former initiate with that. I don't know. Would it be cooler to do joined?
I don't know. I mean,
I figured it was something I'm bitter about. That I didn't get chosen or whatever it was.
okay. Yeah, that's fine. And so,
Oh.
hey, you might have an opportunity to be joined. You never know.
Yeah.
So,
3 sessions. Let's join me.
okay.
I'm
All right,
down.
so then you're going to be a former initiate, and what did you choose for your talents,
Oh,
which is
talent?
something that you could choose. Talents are what I called everybody the equivalent of basically feats in D&D. They're like things that you choose at certain points in character creation that give you, in-game bonuses. A lot of them could be combat oriented. Some of them are not.
Yeah. I took bold con. So whenever you attempt a task with con, something with adding a threat, I get to reroll a d20.
In our pre-show meeting, one of the ideas you threw out there of like a concept would have been a pilot. Is that where you're thinking then? Because con is flight.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, cool. So you're going to be
That
a
fits.
pilot of some sort. Great.
Yeah.
Joey, now when we did our pre-show meeting, and I'll just name everybody's at this point, Joey was thinking of doing something in the command track, which we'll get to later in it. So maybe like some sort of a second officer, or even I guess like a Riker type character, where you're like next in command. That could be a doable thing. Is that still where you're thinking, Joe?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. And then John, you were thinking security. Am I correct?
Correct. Yes.
And you were telling me the other day, or today actually, how like the idea of being a betazoid, if you go that route, you're kind of like the empath, predicting troubles to happen.
Yeah, it seems interesting to be able to like be more of the empath and think about who's the threat assessment. Who's the threat? What's going to happen next to anticipate the security problems.
And it's funny because like the way they use it in Next Gen, Deanna Troi is like the counselor, which she's actually a terrible counselor. The fact that she's an empath, but that's besides the point. But she, she uses her
Totally
ability.
written. It's
What's
not her
that?
fault. It's not her fault.
No, it is her fault. It is her fault. Guinan
Not a
is
fictitious character written into a story, but yes.
Guinan
Really?
is 100% a better counselor than the actual counselor.
Yes.
Whoopi Goldberg, this is her best
Whoopi
role.
Goldberg wanted to be on the show.
So you're going to be
Yes.
security. All right.
Yeah, I want to be able to exactly use that ability to like assess threats, to understand things, to maybe, get a bit of a leg up
Sure.
on security situations.
I could see a lot of like drama and sort of like philosophical ideas coming from that too. If you're always like, I know, Captain, that you don't know, but I don't trust this person. I could see that being an issue. Cool. Okay, great. And then let's see, Stefano.
Picking talents, right?
Yep. Oh, John,
All right.
you didn't tell us your talent actually. What was your talent?
There's like so many that I can pick from.
Yeah.
Okay, so I
Like
help
I
me
told
out,
you,
guys.
hold on. Like I told everybody at the pre-meeting, which you definitely were there for.
Yeah.
Wait, no, Stefano wasn't there for that.
No, I know. I'm being. At the pre-show meeting last week, I said to everybody that really just go with one that like feels like it fits your character, the description, rather than the mechanics, because none of us really are going to have a good handle on the mechanics at this point.
All right, then I'm just gonna go mean right hook.
There we go. Okay, I like it.
Love it.
Which gives you what in combat?
You know, I think we need
Unarmed strike has the vicious 1 damage effect.
Okay, good. We'll talk all about damage effects stuff when we get to the combat. But yeah, basically that's going to do a decent amount of damage when you punch somebody, as opposed to having like there may be times where you have no weapon in your hand, and a regular unarmed strike is just not going to really cut it. This will make it hurt more when you like have no blasters or things like that, phasers, excuse me. All right, so we got that. And Stephanie, what are you thinking for your Vulcan?
So there are a couple of like Vulcan specific ones, the Mind Meld and the Nerve Pinch, and I'm gonna pronounce this wrong, Kolinahar, where the ritual to purge all emotion. But I don't know how useful any of these are going to be. So I'm gonna go a little bland and probably just pick Dauntless, which means whenever you attempt a task to resist being intimidated or threatened, you may add a bonus d20 to your dice pool. So I feel like I'll be good under pressure.
Good, yeah, and that might come up quite a bit, actually. So this could save you. There's a lot of times in this game where you do get intimidated, and like you start. For those of you who don't know, like I know Stefano and Nate, you were saying you really don't have that much exposure to the show. In Star Trek, fighting is really like the last resort. Even Captain Kirk and like the more aggressive type style captains, combat really ends up being something that is like, if you absolutely must, you're backed into a corner. Otherwise, you try to do sort of negotiation, or you try to make it so that you resolve the conflict, because they're trying to, prosperity and stuff like that. Whatever, that BS in the future. So, all right. That BS, yeah. So, okay, good. So you're Dauntless, which is great. And then we're going to go into... So everybody's picked their traits. Did you choose between the Mind Meld or the Pinch, Stephanie?
I can only have one trait, so I picked Dauntless.
So I think if I'm not mistaken, you also get you
get traits and down the line with like other...
Yeah, you'll get more options.
Maybe it's down the line then. Okay,
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right, so now after that's done, once you've selected your race and all your upgrades from race, we now ask ourselves a new question, and we go on to environment. So regardless of your species, Starfleet officers come from many places across the worlds. Humans, obviously, coming from Earth, things like that. But it may not be where you grew up. So you're going to go to either roll environment or select environment. If you go to select, you can go back through the history tab. But were you coming from a busy colony, a frontier colony, home world, isolated colony? Did you grow up on a starship or a starbase, another species world? And then you could pick the one that you want. So it's up to you how you want to do this, but this is really the background of your character. Where did your character grow up? Let's go to Nate. What are you thinking for your trip?
I just rolled and got Frontier Colony.
Ooh, okay.
So that's where I started.
There you go. So you might be on a world that had very little resources, or at least, maybe very little interaction with the Federation, because maybe the Federation set up an outpost or, something, and you really barely ever saw them. It could be up to you to decide how that kind of functions with your character's backstory. But once you pick your background, that gives you some more options. So you're going to be able to choose attribute upgrades. So you can increase one of usually 2 options based on what you get. So you might increase your daring or your presence and all that stuff. Then you also get to select a discipline to increase. Now, in this game, disciplines affect your your career path. So like there are a bunch of different options here. There's command, there's sciences, security, there's engineering, there's sciences. I said science, didn't I? Medical division. There's all a bunch of things that you think of as roles on a ship. So usually, whatever your highest discipline is the track you're going to choose from for your actual job on the ship later. So start thinking of that as well. And then we'll come over to, and you also get a value. A value is something that only comes, it's a phrase. You actually create it. Now, there are some examples in the book, like Captain Kirk has something like, to boldly go, or something like that. It's like the idea of exploration is important, or act now, something like that. Make it so, I think Picard, the NPC, has that. Or it might be Riker, actually, has it like that as well. And so these phrases that like embody your character's values, and they come up when a situation happens and your value could either be tested, like you're doing something that would go opposite your value, or right in line with it. And these are really flavorful RP side of things, but they have a actual mechanic we'll talk about later. So you're picking those basically three things. Let's go to Joey. Where are you coming from?
I'm coming from good old planet Earth.
Right, Louisiana, obviously, yes.
Louisiana, from New
Gotcha.
Orleans. Actually, no, Baton Rouge.
The Raging Cajun is your character.
Raging Cajun. Raging Cajun Miller.
It's not a bad name. It's not a bad name.
He was a former boxer.
I think I am gonna go down the command.
Command
discipline.
route, yeah, okay.
Which parish
and,
is that, Joey? Which parish?
Which parish? Baton Rouge? No idea.
Church, you mean?
No, that's what they
Wait,
call
what?
the counties.
Oh, call what?
The counties.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
I lived in
gotcha.
Baton Rouge for like a little bit, but
Yeah.
Maybe Baton Rouge Parish.
Joey
What?
did live in Louisiana in real life.
Oh,
Yeah.
so then you'd know better than me. I'm just being an asshole. Then I'm
no,
sorry.
I don't. Listen, I'm only judging you silently. It's fine.
So we'll come back in a minute. Let's see, John, what do you got?
Well, the first thing I got is that the East Baton Rouge Parish is the name of the parish for Baton Rouge.
You're not from
That's-
Baton Rouge, though, are you? Your character's from Earth? No, you're Betazoid. Never mind. Excuse me.
Now, I'm a Betazoid, and I looked long and hard for where my character is going to be from, but I think my character is from a busy colony.
Okay. And so you'll pick your disciplines, attributes based on that. And sometimes what happens is, in the next section where we talk about upbringing, you might actually embrace your upbringing, your side of things on your busy colony, or you went against them, and that will affect your next set of stats. Stefano, what are you thinking?
I think this guy's definitely from a busy colony.
Okay, so similar to John's character.
Yeah,
Okay, seemed like he'd be angry with all the busyness.
maybe. Yeah. Or
Yeah.
I don't know. He thinks he's like well known among the busy colony.
Right, and it's just like some colony. Who cares
Yeah.
about it?
And should I say like what I increased and all that stuff?
If you're ready, you can do it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I increased presence because I don't know. I feel like this guy's got presence.
Oh, he's got presence. Yeah.
And for discipline, I was thinking about just going command.
Okay, sure. It's not bad to have like some overlap either. Like just because Joey's character might be in the command track doesn't mean that you'd have the same job or that you're competing.
Yeah,
Or maybe you are. I don't know.
You can like max one of the 6 like talents to like up to 5.
The disciplines.
Sorry,
Yes.
the disciplines, not talents. The disciplines up to like 5, and then it like sort of will give you like a 3 and a 2 to put somewhere else.
Yeah, if you
Got it.
were to try to, what I would say, min-max like in other games, you can get one of your attributes up to 12 and one of your disciplines up to 5. But, that'll be great. So if you have to make a, daring command check, yeah, you're going to have to get like a 17 or under on a D20. That's really great.
Mhm.
But any other time you got to make a check, it's going to be like you might have an 8 or a 9 as your check. So it's not going to be good if that's the only things you increase. So just keep that in mind with min-maxing.
I'm not ready with a value though.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Steph, what are you thinking?
So I rolled for mine. I'm going like full full random here. But it works out well. I got isolated colony.
Okay.
Which actually says like worlds like the Vulcan Monastery on Kujem use, I don't know if I said that correctly, use the vast distances between star systems as an opportunity for contemplative isolation. So with that, I increased my insight, so I get an uptick in insight and reason. And for discipline, I picked engineering.
Okay, you thinking of going to being the mechanic, the Geordie of this crew here?
That's what I do in real life, so I'm gonna have that crossover a little bit. So
The engineer.
Feel free to use like actual engineering concepts.
Yeah.
Well, like
These.
like no joke.
They need
like
HVAC on the Enterprise.
Wait, can I nerd out for a second? Just
You
real
can
quick,
nerd
I
out.
promise you guys.
What have we been doing?
So in the original production of the show, like NASA actually aided with some of the concepts used in the show.
In the original series?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, cool. So then,
Okay,
yeah,
that's
Steph,
awesome.
you're gonna be right at home here.
What did NASA know in '63? Come on.
Warp drive. like Gene Roddenberry did not come up with that. He asked a scientist.
Okay. We
And-
still don't
and
have
yet-
warp drive.
70 years later, 60 years later, we still have no warp drives. I'm disappointed.
No, but we do have mini computers in our pockets at all times.
Yeah.
So
That is kind of crazy. We actually have like a more advanced computer
Yeah.
than their cell phones. Like they
Yeah.
still have flip phones in the original series.
yeah, basically.
I think the flip phone was to keep out dust. I read that somewhere.
Oh.
I wanted to make sure space dust stayed out. Don't take me seriously. I'm being a jerk.
So
Sorry.
let's
You
dust
both
off.
looked at me like, sorry.
Let's dust off Nate's character. Nate,
Sure.
what did you increase? What disciplines and your values?
Yeah, I put fitness up one. I chose con as my discipline, so that's up to 2.
Okay.
My value is never pass up a burrito.
Okay, so we can absolutely name it that, but is the concept behind it like, you value you just love to eat? A good meal will do you.
No, it's like when you see something like that's your burrito, you don't want to miss that opportunity.
Oh.
Like
Like opportunity knocks.
yeah,
That sort of
when
thing.
opportunity
Yeah.
knocks, you never pass that up.
Never pass up the burrito. Okay, good. You have to remind me of that when we play, because I may forget that. The meaning behind
Don't
the burrito.
worry.
I may forget the
gotcha.
burrito. Okay, good. So that's your value. Perfect. And then we go to John. Joey? What do you got for your value?
Oh, I picked that. I respect the autonomy of others.
Respect the autonomy of others. That might be very difficult in some scenarios, but I like it. We'll have to challenge the values there. Awesome.
value.
And you chose command, obviously?
Yeah.
Okay. John, what about you?
Yeah, so I think I forgot to tell you earlier what I chose for like the little things. I chose daring. I chose security. My value is selflessness, loyalty, discipline, honor, integrity, courage, and duty. So in one word, my or in one phrase, I know it was a lot of things.
Boy Scout.
Yeah, I was going. I found like a Sun Tzu, and there's a lot of things for value there. It's do not fight the battle that you shall not need to fight.
Okay, maybe put that then instead of the all the words, because it might be more. A phrase might be better to a scenario. You know what I mean? Like
That's
it might be
definitely
hard.
what I put. That was extemporaneous.
I got
Do
you.
not
So
fight the battle thou shalt not need to fight. Okay, I got it.
So only don't fight the battles you don't need to fight. Gotcha. And you are security. Which that actually is probably a good value to have. I agree. Okay, so then we'll go to Stefano.
I just wrote, if you can't fix it, kick it.
I like that a lot, which will probably contrast with Steph's. Steph's, what's yours?
I was trying to think. Mine's something like, because Vulcans don't have emotions, where like the emotions of computers and technology make more sense to me.
Sure. I like that.
So, I don't know how to phrase that very well.
My computer is my best friend.
But yes.
The computer is my best friend.
I want to say instead of my computer, like my gadgets are my best friends.
Gadgets are better than friends. That's a value. Yes, I like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's it. Gadgets are better than friends.
They are very open-ended, and they're done that way on purpose because they want these values to fit a lot of scenarios. And so by saying a phrase, some sort of like, generalization, it's going to fit into a bunch more scenarios. Okay, so now we've got your values. Now we go to upbringing, which is step 3 on this. Is step 3. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to select an upbringing or roll one, but the upbringings are things like agriculture versus rural. Or sorry, agriculture or rural. So it's combined, right? Artistic and creative, business or trade, diplomacy and politics, science and technology, or perhaps just simply Starfleet. Maybe you grew up in Starfleet, or your parents were Starfleet officers. So you can decide your upbringing. This is just basically what you did on your home world, busy colony, whatever your home world was. Nate, what are you thinking for this one?
Wait, but Bob, you can also accept your thing or rebel against it, right?
Correct. This is just basically what happened to you, what type of upbringing you had, and then whether or not you agreed with it. So when you select, you'll be able to accept or rebel your upbringing. Everybody's got those black sheep in the family, right?
Yeah, Joey's right there.
Joey is right there.
So I rolled agriculture or rural.
Oh, you rolled. I like that.
Well, yeah. And I rebelled against my upbringing.
Kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah, and so reason and presence went up. Reason went up 2. Presence went up 1.
Good.
Discipline, I took con again.
Okay.
And I took former initiate.
Gotcha.
Here.
That's another talent you're choosing. You're going to end up with 4 talents at the end of the character creation, which are like feats equivalent.
Yeah.
So just to give an overview here, yeah, you click your background and then you accept it or rebel against it, and depending what you choose, it actually changes the options. So if you accept it, it's fitness and control. If you don't, it's reason and presence for agricultural or rural, and then for con, medicine, security, or whatever you choose, you pick up to increase, and then your talent. So all these kind of depend on the options that you can choose from, depend on whether you accept or rebel. Joey, what are you going with?
I went with a rural agricultural background.
Okay. A lot of farmers here.
A lot of farmers. I rebelled and
Chill.
went to Starfleet Academy.
Gotcha. I like it.
Uh,
Maybe you and Nate will bond over that. You have
Yeah.
a similar upbringing.
Right.
Do you want to tell us what your disciplines, or are you not there yet?
oh no,
We come back to
I was
you.
actually like way ahead, but then I accidentally clicked environment again.
Oh, okay. So go back. We'll come back to you. John, tell me what you got.
Yeah, so my family definitely wanted me to be involved in diplomacy and politics, as any good Betazoid would want to
Ooh,
be.
I see so many potentials with this background. Yeah.
But I rebelled.
Oh my God, we have a bunch of rebels. Jeez.
I know. Yeah.
But we ended up where we are.
I think that's why
I love
we're
it.
on the ship of hodgepodge people as we are.
The HMS SS HMS Beagle.
Exactly. We can't even remember which country we're trying. So that's why we just picked all of them. So
Oh my God.
I'm rebelling against my parents who were.
I love it.
I do not speak of them. So I'm taking reason and fitness in my rebellion.
Okay.
um.
Joe, you
Okay.
have a solution?
Oh, what's up?
Did you have something to say?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've figured it out.
What do you got?
So yeah, I went with also like rebelling.
Yep.
Went with medicine. I'm thinking there was like some sort of tragic incident as a teenager.
Oh, yeah.
A friend died, and I learned some like emergency medicine skills.
In fact, later in this character creation, there will be options for like that as well.
I told you I want to add.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right, so then...
And yeah, I'm taking the field medicine talent. So I ignore difficulty increases without proper tools or equipment.
Yes. That'll be very helpful because it's not like D&D where you can cast cure wounds, right? Like, you get hurt, somebody might be legitimately out.
I cast Cure Phaser.
If only. But yeah, this might be really good. This field medicine might be very helpful. John, did you have a talent you picked?
I'm looking at the talents right now, and I think the talent that I'm going to choose is... I need about 5 minutes. There's way more than there's way more. I was like, oh, there's
100. Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
Choice paralysis. No, I get it.
If it
Stefano.
helps, the first half of that list is they're like different versions of the same thing.
Yeah, it's bold, whatever discipline or
I
attribute.
think I want the last one. I think I want tough.
Okay.
Whenever
Tough.
you avoid an injury, the cost is reduced by 1 to a minimum of 1.
Yeah, we'll talk all about that when we get into the gameplay, but that could be very helpful because it's going to cost you momentum, which is a pool you have, a resource you have, and it only caps at 6, so you don't want to use it. Caps at 6, so you don't want to use all of it if you don't have to. This might be a good thing to have.
Yeah.
All right, so then we'll go to Stefano, and then Steph, you're up next.
All right, I chose business or trade.
Okay. He looks like
That's
a
my
business. Yeah.
I upped my engineering for discipline,
Okay.
and for talent, I went with a Tellarite specific one called Sturdy.
Ooh.
It says you have a blend of physical resilience and mental fortitude, so that you're difficult to subdue.
This guy
reduced-
seems like the person you want on your side.
Sure. It says you reduce the cost to resist being knocked prone by the knockdown damage effect by 1, and you gain +1 resistance against all non-lethal attacks.
Oh, sweet.
Are you thinking security?
I don't know. Maybe I should be also
I think
security.
you should be, like, I'm not
A
even
different
joking.
kind of security.
No, we are cheap of security.
Well, that's what I think John wants to be.
Oh wait.
However,
John-
Also, interestingly enough, both of the things that I picked did not have security as a discipline you could increase.
that's okay. But remember, just because
yeah,
you are good at combat doesn't mean you have to be security. You could totally be
That's
just
true.
in the engineering department, and you just don't get along with a lot of people when you're on, shore leave, and you fight. Like, it could be your thing. We'll see.
Or if the engineering bay gets like intruders,
Sure.
having some muscle there is actually like really valuable.
Yeah, because Jordy gets taken out like every episode.
Cordy gets kidnapped like a bitch in so many episodes.
Hey, you can be Tasha Yar and I'll be Worf. It's all good.
That's
You
true.
can also do that.
That's true. Yeah.
Joey, I feel like that's a reference not a lot of people understand, so I want to play with it.
Tasha Yar and Worf. Yeah.
No, I was. So
Stefano-
Tasha Yar was like chief of security, and Worf was like sort of under her.
Yeah, exactly. So Tasha's the first in command, and then Worf can be second, and Stefano, I'm sure everything will be okay. Don't worry about it. Season two is going to be great for you.
Yeah. For you.
Nice
Yeah.
one.
Also, just giving
Weird
the idea
thing to
here
say.
that there could be some sort of like power struggle. Like some of you have the same discipline, and this is a job, right? You want to get promoted. You want to be better than the others in some way, right? It's competition a little bit. It's not that bad to have that drama as well. Okay, so now we go to Steph.
We're like
What do you got?
good cop, bad cop.
There.
Exactly.
true.
I mean, that is kind of exactly how it works.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. All right, Steph, what do you got with your Vulcan?
Punch
So I picked science and technology for mine instead of rolling for it. This is the first one I haven't rolled for,
Ooh.
which I'm accepting. That'll make sense. So I get plus control and reason. For my disciplines, I picked science as a secondary one. I like to be generally well-rounded. My talent, I picked testing a theory. So when I attempt a task using engineering or science, I may roll an additional d20 so long as you succeeded at a previous task covering the same field in the same adventure. So if I did it once, I can do it again.
Yeah, I like that a lot. That could be very useful, and it sounds like the idea that you're accepting it, you might take your role in Starfleet a little differently than the rest of them. A lot of these people might be going to Starfleet because they want to get away from their home. They wanted to like be away from it, but you kind of embraced it, and this is like where your talents will be best used.
Yes, I think I know I may have just like come with the ship, like living in the walls of the ship or something. I don't know.
Oh,
like,
maybe you were
I
on
just
the
tap out.
maybe you were on the team that kind of like refitted it, you know?
I
And
think I was like the intern of all the old guys who refitted this, and I
There we
had no
go.
idea what they were doing at the time.
oh.
Maybe.
Yeah, actually, that could work really well. And so now you're here, and you kind of knew how things were, how the wiring went, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like you know what's in the walls.
No, like
and
half of it. Like,
Yeah.
because they only let me. I was like the little kid where the dad makes you hold the flashlight. I was holding
Yeah.
the flashlight for the whole thing. No idea what he's doing, but I'm holding the flashlight real hard.
Oh, I like this. Okay, this is shaping up here. I like this a lot. All right, so once you pick your background and accept it or not, we go to Starfleet Academy. Now, John, did you want to just share your talent?
Oh, I clicked away from that.
Okay, what'd you end up choosing?
My
We'll
talent.
find out next week.
Yeah,
Did
going back history, I clicked upbringing, Starfleet Academy. Oh, there's a lot of things in the history. I chose tough. Is that what we're going for?
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you did. Oh, sorry. Never mind. I forgot, actually. Yes.
Did everyone write in a focus?
And my focus was
Yeah.
diplomacy. Yeah.
Yeah, so the focuses basically are things that will, it's more of a, like, there is no, like, defined list of these, but it's kind of like a skill, like medicine, emergency medicine might be good for Joey's character. There's some examples there, but these are also, like, not an exhaustive list. It's kind of just like, yeah, what type of skills within your fields did you learn?
Okay. Could I fill that in later?
You can, actually, yeah.
All right.
Now we go to Starfleet Academy. Now this is going to be where you kind of pick your job on the ship. So you're going to select a officer track, and when you pick the officer track, it tells you ones that are kind of good for you based on your kind of like what you focused on. So like command track or operations track, sciences. You're going to pick the one that kind of goes with your majors. If you're not going to pick command if you have no good command. You're not going to pick operations if you don't have any good engineering or security. You're not going to pick sciences if you're not a medical or science-based person. But, you're all going to go into different tracks here. I'm assuming that Nate and Joey are going to go into the command track. I'm assuming that Stefano, John is going to go into the operations track, so you want to be security, and so will Steph. However, it really is up to you if you wanted to be science-y, because Stefano, your character seems to be kind of like the wild card. We don't really know where you're going to end up. We don't have a ship's doctor right now. So if you were...
God. That sounds terrible and like nothing that I picked.
No, but think about the worst bedside manner. I mean, that could be you. It also doesn't mean doctor either. You can go into just science in general and you'd be like, an expert in a field of science. So it's your call. You decide. I'm going to come to everybody, but we'll start with Nate as we've been doing in the order.
Yeah.
What are you
Heck
thinking?
yeah.
Were you thinking command?
Yep, I went command.
Okay.
Thinking con. I took control, daring, and insight. One of each. So my
Yeah.
lowest attribute is 8.
You actually
my
get
highest one
you get a
is-
big choice here, right? You get to choose
Yeah.
from most of the or all of the attributes to increase. You get 3 increases.
Yeah.
Con?
Yeah, I chose con for my major, so that's up to 5 now. So that's maxed out from what I understand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I took engineering and medicine as my second 2. Medicine is where I grew up. Engineering because if I'm a pilot, I'd probably know a little something
Yeah.
about a ship. I took extra vehicular activity, starship recognition, and evasive action as my focuses at
Great.
Starfleet Academy.
Awesome.
And I took push the limits for my talent. So when I attempt a con task that has increased difficulty for environmental conditions or damage to the engines, I reduce the difficulty.
That sounds like a pilot to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I like it a lot.
And then, I guess there's one more value at the end.
At the end, there's a value, exactly. Again, you're going to have 4 values by the end of it.
I took the universe is my home. Let's explore my home.
Ooh, okay, good. I like that. Very broad, but it could come into play a lot of times when the idea of exploration is being tested.
Yeah, I think that's kind of my character. Yeah,
pushing the boundaries, both physically and sort of metaphorically.
Yeah, heck yeah.
All right, let's go to Joey.
Oh wait, all right.
John, you're up next.
Yep.
I'm pretty much finished my character. I'm just trying to export it.
Oh, look at you, fancy pants.
Yeah. What?
You're that kid in school that's like, I did the homework already. Can I hand it in?
I really like making Star Trek characters.
All right, so Joe, we'll come back to you then while you export, so you could tell us. John, what do you got?
So I did choose operations tract.
Okay. Which is security is in the operations track.
Correct. Security's in the operations track. So I don't know if you want me to go through all my attributes.
If you have them, yeah, please do. Yeah.
Control 8, Daring 9, Fitness 8, Insight 8, Presence 10, and Reason 9.
Awesome.
I feel a little balanced, I guess.
Pretty balanced, yeah, I would say, in terms of your attributes. What about your disciplines?
Disciplines are Command 2, Con 1, Engineering 1, Science 1, and Medicine 2.
What's your security? 3?
5.
Oh, you maxed out security. Gotcha. Okay.
I did max out security. Engineering is 1, and security is 5.
Gotcha. Okay, so then your focuses. These are, you can see some examples down there, but they're things that happen. They're basically fields of your job. Like astral navigation, composure, diplomacy. It's really, you make these up too, right? There's no exhaustive list of these.
Yeah. So I had a few others from earlier, and they're not all reflected here.
You can put them here. You can put them here.
I should not choose different ones. I should refocus.
So these should just be kind of reflecting on your time at the academy. Like what went into your training.
I had diplomacy from my parents already, so that's earlier.
Okay.
So now I've learned on hand phasers, hand-to-hand combat, interrogation.
What's the karate that Riker does? What's the?
I have no idea.
Can we Google that? Can you find that, Joey? Find out the karate that Riker does, please.
Riker's karate?
Yeah.
Kembo? Kento? I don't know.
No, he does a special karate with the special swords. Remember that episode?
No, they aren't swords. They are
is it not
American
Kendo?
Gladiator.
They are American Gladiator Q-tip style pole arms. Yeah. He fights his dad in that episode. Do you remember
I
that?
don't even know what
He
to
does fight his
Google.
dad in that episode.
Riker's martial art or something like.
I googled Riker karate name Star Trek.
Yes. What'd you get? You didn't get anything?
No, I didn't get anything. Riker martial arts. Enbo Jiu-Jitsu.
Yes, that's it. Ambo Jiu-Jitsu. Ambo
Sir,
Jiu-Jitsu.
so I have Enbo Jiu-Jitsu, Survival, and
Yes.
Enbo Jutsu.
Ambo Jutsu. Yeah.
Survival, and hand
Yes.
phaser.
Oh, look.
Yeah.
Look at this. Our Kazander in the chat, he knew it. Or they knew it. Ambo Jutsu. Yeah.
Thank
this
you,
is
Kazandar. Nice
we
job.
have a confirmation here. Good. Excellent. All
And
right.
Loco is telling us they're using Pugil sticks.
Pugil sticks. That's what they're called?
Apparently.
I like American Gladiator Q-tip style lances.
Oh. Yo,
That's my
Jack,
opinion.
we're gonna I certainly I'm no Joey, but I'm pretty darn good at this stuff. That's impressive, Chad.
That is
We
pretty
need your
good.
help.
Pugil sticks. Okay, so we go to let's see here. John, that was you. Did you tell us
another
your
talent? Do you care about that at all?
Tell me, yeah, what'd you choose? Yeah.
Quick to action
Quick to action. Okay, good.
allows us all to me and my allies to ignore any normal cost of retain to our initiative. Just move a little quickly through some stuff.
So retaining your initiative is basically in this game, it's always a back and forth from the enemy. So it'd be like the group goes and one person goes. It's based on your daring as the initiative. So like if let's say the highest daring is, let's just say your character, John, then you'd go first and then the enemy would go first, right? And then it would go back to your group, but you could then retain it. Instead of it going back to the enemies, you could spend momentum to keep it on your side. So it would go to a second character on your side in a row. So you would be reducing the ability to, or reducing the cost of spending momentum to keep your side from basically taking a double turn. So it's really good. And that after the first person in a combat, it's up to the group as to like who they want to go first. You also don't have to go first. It's a very open initiative system, but if nobody would go first, you would do it based on daring. But then in the moment, you react. So like if Joey's like, oh, I need somebody to do this, well then you could keep the initiative on your side. John goes first, then Joey, and that's kind of how it works. You have to spend momentum, and this will reduce the cost to do that. Okay, so that's good. I like this. And your value relating to your time at Starfleet?
I picked quite a few already, but I think my final one is going to be patience.
Patience is a virtue?
It's a value.
Yeah, the values have to be like phrases. So like patience is a virtue. That's totally a phrase that would, showcase that you have a good patience with people.
Patience is a virtue.
All right, now we go to Stefano. Oh, you're ready, Joey? Go ahead.
For the academy?
Yeah,
right?
Your academy stuff.
For the academy, I went with command track.
Yep.
I put like 1 point into con, have like a little bit of con skills. Put another point into medicine, and my value is a life above protocol.
Ooh.
So like I'll value like the lives of people over necessarily like Starfleet protocol, if it comes to that.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I picked supervisor as my talent.
Supervisor. What does that give you?
It gives the entire crew, and I don't know if it's like other main characters. I think it's like support staff, like +1 to their checks.
Okay, cool. So you do help out the peons, so to speak.
Yeah.
What
awesome.
a guy.
The red shirts.
The red shirts.
Do I pick young officer or experienced officer?
Hold on, we're not there yet. We go to Stefano and Stephanie.
I couldn't, in good faith, with all the choices that I made, pick the sciences track, so I just went with operations track.
Fair enough.
Because that's the one that makes the most sense.
Sure. And what were your talents, your increases, your disciplines?
I increased fitness, insight, and I'm thinking about daring or presence.
All very good.
I'll just go with presence.
You seem like an intimidating kind of person. This might make sense, right?
Yeah. I chose security as a major.
Mm-hmm.
And what exactly is con?
It's piloting.
Okay.
It's actually really more interfacing with the ship and the computers as well. It's not like engineering side. It's more of like the, how well you can use the computer at your resource.
Okay.
The computer of the ship as your resource.
Command is just like leading?
Leadership abilities, exactly. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Sorry, I just wanted to check.
Yeah, no worries. These are all new to us, so yeah. And then what did you choose for your values and your talents? Or have you not done that yet?
I haven't done that yet.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure that was cool that I picked operations track.
Absolutely, yeah, pick it. And we'll come back to you then. Steph, what do you got?
Nice.
I picked the operations track, which has engineering in it.
Yeah.
I upped my daring, insight, and reason. So my worst attribute is presence, which I feel like makes sense for my character.
Totally.
So, majors is engineering. I also added con and science to my other disciplines.
Mm-hmm.
Focus is mostly transporters, replicators, wiring, power systems, computers. Pretty boring. But my talent.
No, the replicators are awesome. Somebody's got to know how to fix them.
Yeah, my talent is jury rig engineering, which this is
Nice.
something dear to my heart. I have a story on this, but the talent is whenever you attempt an engineering task to perform repairs, you may reduce the difficulty by 2. If you do this, however, then the repairs are only temporary and will last a single scene. Plus 1 additional scene per momentum spent, which I guess we'll figure out. And jerry-rigged repairs can only be applied once, and the difficulty to repair a device that has been jerry-rigged increases.
Gotcha. Okay, so you can put a
Nice.
patch on something if necessary, and it'll be cheaper, more efficient for the group to do so.
Yes, and this actually happened in real life when my muffler broke on my geoprism car in college, and I jerry-rigged it up with some floral wiring inside some silk flowers.
Oh my god.
The flowers actually burnt away. The plastic did. But that car drove from Lincoln, Nebraska, 24 hours to Buffalo, New York, where they put it back up at my dad's car shop. And they were like, "What is this?" And my dad's like, "That's her engineering degree
Oh my
in
gosh.
practice."
I have so many
That's
questions.
so cool.
What year did this happen? Why did you own a Geoprism? How
Hey.
much money did it cost you?
That
Did
was
it
my-
weigh like 1,500 pounds. I love it. I love everything about this.
That's
thing.
crazy.
Yeah.
It
Oh
was
my God.
it was my purple geoprism. This
Yes.
must have been 2011 or 2012, and it was like a 95
Yes.
geoprism.
Wait, Steph, I had a 95 Geoprism. I'm not kidding.
No, you didn't.
And it was champagne gold.
Oh, nice. Mine is the purple one.
That was my first
I
car
love-
that I ever bought.
In a stiff breeze, you went backwards, right?
Well, actually, I had a couple of friends in the car. We were trying to go up a hill in our town. Actually, John, kind of by your house. And we're trying to go up that hill, and we couldn't do it. It was like I couldn't go past like 35 miles per hour, with like 4 people total in the car. I couldn't handle it.
So, fun fact: in Nebraska, there are no car inspections
What?
needed. You just pay a tax. So my car was real bad.
Good old
And it was-
Nebraska.
It was only illegal once I passed into New York State borders. So I would go as
my.
fast as I could to my parents' house.
Wow.
I love that.
That's amazing.
Hey,
Well,
Captain, we don't have enough power.
I'm giving her all she's got.
I give it all she's got, Captain. We don't have enough.
35 miles per hour is about all she's got. So,
That is what mine topped out at. Yeah, because
Yeah.
the speed limit was 70 in Nebraska. So if you went 75, it would just like rumble down to like nothing.
Good for you. I drove in 2011. I drove a Prius, not my car, over the Continental Divide in Colorado, and we pulled over at like a Toyota dealership. Like, the car is broken. We need to sell it. Something's wrong. And they're like, "No, the engines are too small. There's just
Yeah.
not enough oxygen up here.
right, that's
just
just all
keep
it's got.
driving down. It'll get better." We're like, "What are you talking?"
Oh, you
And we
poor
drove down
guy.
over the Continental Divide, and we're like, "Oh, the car is normal again."
They'll do it. That combustion gets you at higher altitudes. It's a problem.
We don't have enough oxygen, Captain.
Let's see here. So,
Um,
Stefano.
Oh, and then my value is
oh.
a focus will get it done. I don't know if we need that. I think that makes sense. Like focusing will get it done.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. If you just put your mind to it, that sort of thing, Yeah, that's a good value. Stefano, did you pick your last ones?
Yeah.
What you got?
So I have a 3 in security, command, and engineering, and a 1 in everything else.
Okay.
I think that makes sense because
It's kind of
for
well
command,
rounded.
this guy probably thinks he's in charge half the time.
Oh, perfect.
Security, we agreed that made sense,
Yeah.
and I
You
don't
know a
know,
little bit.
engineering. It was one of the ones that you could pick on a lot of the things that I picked,
Okay.
and it was already up to 2. And I don't know, con didn't seem to make sense. It seemed like con or engineering.
Mm.
Didn't seem like a very sciencey guy,
No.
and not a very medicine-y guy.
No.
For focuses, I wrote interrogation, hand-to-hand combat, and survival.
Oh, I like this guy. I like this guy a lot. I might want to hang out with him.
And there was an interrogation talent that says When you succeed at a task to coerce someone to reveal information in the social conflict, you will gain 1 bonus momentum, which may only be spent on the obtain information momentum spent.
Okay. That's actually a really big one because you don't get, it's not like in D&D where you could be like, hey, can I make a history check on this? It's kind of like when I call for a check, if you get successes, you can spend your momentum that you get from that check to give you more information. I'm supposed to give you like the most basic, vague information if you get the check. And depending on how many successes you get, depending on how much momentum you want to spend, I think that's how it works. Or you spend a momentum, you can get the extra information that you have to unlock, basically. So it's very important for the investigation part of the game.
And for my stats, I have a 8 in control and daring, a 9 in fitness and insight, an 11 in presence, and a 7 in reason.
So pretty well rounded, I'll be honest with you. You don't have any like terrible stat. I mean, I guess the 7 is the bad one, but
right.
It's not like you're really min-maxed. You have a lot of good stats. Okay, I like it. So now the characters are ready. Now we have to decide, are you a young officer? Are you an experienced officer? Or are you an old, grizzled veteran, like a career Starfleet person? Having a variety of these people will be great because we said we're all going to be new to this, this refit of the equivalent of a 1995 Geo Prism in Starfleet, the HMS Beagle.
The USS HMS Beagle.
I picked experienced officer, if that's cool.
Yeah, no, everything here is pretty much, there's no like
it
bad
gave me
choice.
2 life events. Is that fine?
Yeah,
Is it normal?
so depending on what you pick, the young officer, the experienced officer, or the veteran, it gives you a variety of different choices to make afterwards. So let's just go through, I'm jumping Nate here, but Joe, you said experienced officer. If you go through the experienced officer one, it gives you a value, you pick talents and stuff like that, and basically you click career events after that, and it'll tell you some things that have happened. Being more experienced will give you more events. So why don't we'll do this, we'll just go around, we'll just stick with the order here. Nate, Joey, John, everybody start to go through it, and we'll come to you and you'll tell us what you've selected.
I went with experienced officer.
Okay.
I definitely loved Joey's demoted. That's what I was thinking of doing anyway.
Oh, okay.
So definitely, like, I've been pitched onto this ship because of some other things I'll get into probably later in
your life events.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. I like it.
If you want, I can do the
value and the talent
too. Yeah, the value is consistent sleep is the most important part of health.
Oh, I love it. I love this guy.
And I'm going with Starship expert.
Seems to make sense. Seems to all track.
So it seems like I know Starships better than the average person.
Yeah, which seems to be and this will also go back good with if you're doing this idea of you were kind of in a way quote unquote demoted. It's not a demotion, but you're being put on a ship that you might have been on a Galaxy class, the premier ship. You might have been under Picard. Who knows? Whatever. And then now you're chosen. This is your promotion.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm thinking you might be, because you're experienced, you might be the person who's literally on the bridge navigating the ship.
Yeah, I'm going with like navigation. This is kind of my expertise, so that makes sense.
Okay,
that was one of the things I took.
Gotcha. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but like Data basically does that in Next Gen, right? He's always at the con, right?
Yeah, you could definitely think of me as Data.
Well,
I might be different though.
There's only one. Yeah, there's only one Data. Well, that's not true actually. We'll go to Joey. Joey, you said your experience as well. So what are you going with?
Yeah, I
and Nate, go on to the events, the career events, the life events, or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I picked my life events, but yeah, I went with experienced officer.
Yeah.
And it gave me like 2 life events. Do I say that? Or...
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead. Is the first one though a career event? Because isn't it career?
Got 2?
It should be career, right?
Yeah, career details, career event 1, and then career event 2. That's what it
Yeah.
says for me.
That's what it seems like here. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went with the death of a friend. So like at an early age, I think me and I guess a friend of mine were just in one of those Louisiana hurricanes, and we got flooded, and I had to do like an emergency splint. He ended up dying at the end. And I'm thinking the reason why I'm demoted is because I was involved in like negotiating a treaty, and it went south because I thought that this planet was being like abusive or tyrannical, and I sort of I spoke out of turn, and it bungled negotiations.
Okay, so you had like a natural disaster event and a bungled treaty.
Or death of a friend, and then negotiated
Death
treaty.
of a friend, and the treaty, exactly, that went south. By the way, everybody, you can also randomize this. So I know that maybe Joey had some ideas here, but if you're like, oh God, what do I pick? Because there's so many options for these life events, you can just go ahead and, randomize it. That might give you a better choice. We'll go to John. What do you got?
Yeah, so I chose Experienced Officer.
Oh, so we're all experience here.
My final value is anyone can be a threat.
Mm-hmm.
And I chose for this one something a little different. I went for Dauntless, which is a general attribute which states that whenever you attempt a task to resist being intimidated or threatened, you may add a bonus D20 to your dice pool.
Right, I think Steph, you chose
we all
this as
have
well?
Dauntless. Like I have Dauntless.
Awesome. I love that we're all getting into the same place. Maybe I should re-aesthetic that.
No, this is actually not bad. Maybe because of your dauntless nature, the Starfleet decided this new retrofit of
kind of like the fact that we're all sort of like rebels without a cause, almost like no, fuck you. I like the fact that we can't be intimidated as a crew. That's cool.
I can't wait to make your captain the most like submissive, like just passive.
He should be someone who's just like no ambition, like no. he is what like Picard would have been had he not gotten stabbed by the guy.
Domjock. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The Domjock game, you got to watch out. Okay.
So, to this end, on my next level, that's what Joey did. I can do it if you want.
Sure.
No, yeah, I like it. I like the fact that we all kind of like. Bob said there's like a lot of intimidation checks, so.
Yeah.
Listen, like if our crew like gets intimidated into like blowing up the ship, that's bad.
Yeah, that'd be the worst. I mean, game over. All right, so John, what do you got here?
Yeah, I have received a special commendation, and I'm not very happy about it.
What would that be?
I feel like it was given to me as a way to make me go away. I don't feel like I did anything special, but I maybe know a little bit more as a Betazoid than I should. And I was given this as kind of a way to be like, no, let's go away on this little ragtag crew, and let's not talk about what happened that time.
This is a punishment, truly. You whereas Nate might have assumed it's a downgrade, you kind of have an idea that it is. You know that it is.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They like things happened, and I got you
were too close.
Yeah. Apparently, I did a great job, and I'm like, no, I didn't. I made a major mistake.
Yeah, I think Jeff in the chat says, the captain's basically over the hill and mediocre. It's going to be great.
Fun.
No one's going to listen to the captain.
Okay, so we go to Stefano and then Steph.
Oh, wait, do we also name our ranks, or is that after this?
After this, yep.
Okay. Well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I decided to go with veteran.
Yes.
I'm like this old guy that nobody wants around.
Yes.
Love it.
They just want me to retire, and I'm like, I'm not ready to retire. I was born for this.
Oh, can that be your value? Can that be your value?
Person we work with.
Is that your
What?
value? I was born for this.
Oh, I don't know. I wrote I wrote you might not agree with everyone you meet, but the mission's objective is paramount.
Oh, that's actually fantastic. Yeah. Never mind. That's a really good one.
All right, cool.
Yeah. That will keep him from just fighting everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay.
But they put me on here and they're like, "Oh, don't worry, you could whip these guys up into shape."
Yeah. You might be John's
And
muscle.
they're just trying to get rid of me.
Yeah. I love this. I love the way this is all coming together. What about your life events?
Is that the
It's
I don't
after
have
you choose the
anything.
track. Yeah, it should be at the bottom when you click. It should be like career events.
Oh, I have to click on it.
Yeah, you have to click on it. We'll come back to you. Steph, what do you
Okay.
got?
So I am a young officer.
Yes.
Um,
The whole gamut.
Yeah. So my value, it's the character receives a value which must reflect the character's inexperience and naivete in some way.
Oh, amazing.
Mine is everything is easily fixable.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my
This is
god. This is great.
A Wesley Crusher. If you will.
Oh, Wesley. Come here, Wesley.
I feel like
Shut
this
up,
is gonna
Wesley.
go really well with my jerry rigging. And what could go wrong? I mean, everything's great. This is great.
Oh,
And I feel
I'm so excited.
so yes.
This crew is shaping up to be the worst crew ever in Starfleet.
If we don't all die on our first mission, we've succeeded.
I'm excited.
The
Wait, can
USS HMS Beagle.
Can I let the group?
Survival of the fittest. Someone in Starfleet is laughing hysterically.
Oh,
There's
my
no
God.
fittest on that
oh
ship.
my god.
They're
that's
on
great.
the HMS USS Beagle? no, the USS HMS Beagle.
USS HMS.
Oh
Can
my
I
God.
ask the group? I'm between two right now.
Yeah.
I'm either conflict with a hostile culture or betrayed ideals for a superior.
Ooh, I like the second one way better.
They're all really good. Though,
I like
if you
both.
pick a hostile towards like you could, depending on who you end up interacting with, who you meet in the adventure, that could be a problem. You know what I mean? Like if you're trying to figure out a way to negotiate between, the Klingons and somebody else, if you don't like Klingons, that's going to be a problem. That could
Right.
cause a lot of good stuff. Or just like you said, you could have an admiral that you don't, get along with or whatever or something. I don't know. It's up to you. But they all work out really well.
Okay. Well, I was asking for opinions.
What do we got? Joey? What do you think?
In terms of what?
For my
Joey-
life
Joey was
events,
not
I was going to
listening.
go either with conflict with a hostile culture or betrayed ideals for a superior.
So Worf is a perfect example of like conflict with the hostile culture. Like he hates Romulans.
Yeah. Well, they did like kill
He
his.
also
Father.
kind of hated Klingons.
That's true. He doesn't necessarily get
Betrayed
along with other
ideals
Klingons.
for a superior is sort of like defying Starfleet protocol to like maybe like hide some damning truth about like an officer you admire.
Yeah. An
I don't know,
admiral.
which one do you feel is like more in line with your character? Hostile culture is sort of. I feel like a little bit of gravity towards that. When it
He
comes
just
to,
feels
like,
hostile.
Yeah, I like that one more for your character.
Maybe he started the conflict.
Oh,
All right,
No,
cool.
but also, but the thing is that like defying ideals for a superior could explain why you're on the ship.
Oh, true.
I know that's what I was thinking.
So if you want to go into that, that could help with your background.
Yeah. There's really no wrong way about doing it, and honestly, maybe just randomize it.
I kind of like, you know what? I think you should go with betraying your ideals because I think that's sort of like out of left field for your character. It's like, oh, like this person cares about someone so much that like, oh, they got demoted to his. Like,
You know
like,
what?
okay, well, who is that person? Like, what did they do for you? Like, there's a lot of like room to explore with it.
That does make sense. And you know what else? Now, because of that, you're so much into your old self. Like you are just so staunch and, your
You're
values.
pissed off.
Yeah.
Yeah, like why fucking
Right.
wrong, like,
Never
you're-
doing that again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
That could work really well.
Oh,
Okay.
well, now I have a ridiculous amount of presents.
Wait, how much okay, what's your
12.
12?
I got
Oh my
12
God.
presents too, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Oh, Jesus. All right. And then, Steph, what do you got?
Oh, no, I have 11 presents.
Am I the only one who's balancing this stuff out? Damn.
No, Steph is, I think.
No.
Yeah, I'm decently balanced. I got a couple. So
Same.
my career event is mentored, which I feel like makes sense with my character. So, like I said, I was holding a flashlight for these guys building the ship or fixing the ship. So I increased insight. I'm decently balanced, except my presence is a little low. So I have additional con, and for my focus, I have observing as step 1.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
what is it?
Observing is step 1.
Oh.
I like
okay.
that a lot for a mechanic. Now, quick question. Your mentor was Starfleet?
It does say a highly respected officer took notice of the character's career.
Okay, so then,
So,
yeah, you have to come up with your...
character-
Yeah, you want to. You don't have to think about it now. Obviously, you can
Mhm.
create it over the next week or so and think about who your mentor was. Maybe they're famous. Maybe they're actually in the show. Or they're just somebody that you created from your imagination, because that's what this game is about, right?
Okay, yeah, I'll figure out like who's the officer. Does the officer remain a
Yeah.
contact or even friend of the character? So
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's true. Could be anybody. All right. Did we get everybody's career events?
I think I didn't. I don't know if I finished mine, but yeah,
Tell me.
I had a superior officer
Okay,
that
two
put a
ones.
whole like system on high alert because he misidentified a ship, and I called him out on it, and I ended up getting a serious injury.
Ooh, okay.
I
I
have a
like
prosthetic leg.
that. Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You know,
Is
there's
it-
a surgery that can fix that nowadays.
Yeah.
Isn't
in
that? Yeah,
in-
right.
in
Isn't
Star
that a
Trek, you-
prosthetic leg?
No, so in Star
No,
Trek, you
no,
can
they could-
actually
They
can
can
actually-
regrow your leg.
they could
Like-
regrow
Oh.
your leg.
It says prosthetic implant was an example, and I was like, perfect.
Well, no, hold on.
All right, you
There-
know what? I couldn't afford it.
Yeah, well, so there's a couple
no
ways
money.
to do that. There's a couple of ways. Yeah, there's no money either, Nate. So like if you wanted it, you could have. But there are plenty of times where like they don't do medical procedures because the person chooses not to for whatever the reason might be. Like Worf in one episode doesn't want to go undergo some sort of surgery or whatever. I forget which one it was, but because it was like against his Klingon code or religion or something, which
Fair
is what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
So there could be
That
a
makes
reason why
sense.
you didn't regrow your leg, and you can make it up.
Yeah.
So
Sweet.
yeah, that's totally
I'm
fine.
down.
Okay, so now once you pick your career events, you go to the finishing touches, which gives you your characters. It gives you like final ability points, upgrades, discipline upgrades, and one final value. Again, you should have 4 values at the end of the whole character creation. These are those phrases, the disciplines and the attributes. That's like your core stats, your ability scores, and your skills kind of combined. And once you do that, you'll finish, and then we just have to give your character a. Technically, you're actually getting in your job, your rank. So let's do that next. When you're done, so you'll do this. Everybody can go on to that finishing touches, and when you're done, you pick yourself a name, which you can obviously choose later, and then your assignment. And your assignment should basically be based on your highest discipline. So, like, obviously Steph's going to be engineering. That's going to be clear. I think John, your guy's going to be in the security. But you pick one of those things, and this is where we have to kind of discuss, because we can't have the same. You can be in the same field, but you just can't be like the same rank. You can't be the exact same thing on the ship. You can be a chief of engineering, but somebody else would be something else. Science officer or something. Whatever it is, we'll figure it out right now. So go through it. Nate, what do you got?
So my name is Vibes McGee.
Say it one more time.
Vibes McGee.
Vibes.
Yep.
Vibes McGee.
Yep.
I'm vibing this.
I'm a flight controller.
Are you vibing with Biden? Sorry.
Heck yeah. Yeah, we're vibing our backgrounds. And for rank, I mean, I was just gonna pick lieutenant, but to be honest, I don't know. Like, what do you? This is where I'd love some input from folks who know a little bit more about this.
So lieutenant's just another rank. So obviously, you're not the chief of something, which is like there's only one of on a ship.
So
but like,
lieutenant commander might be good for con. For
Yeah.
like a
For flight.
helmsman. For a
Yes.
helmsman would be like Commander Data is a helmsman, and
Yep.
he's a lieutenant commander.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'll do that.
Yeah,
Sweet.
actually, it's funny you say that, Joey, because like Data, while he's a main character in the show, and his rank is not too high. It's not like
He's
that
the
of
same rank as like Worf.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's not like
Cool.
Riker. It's not like even I think if I'm not mistaken, Deanna Troy outranks him, doesn't she?
No, Deanna Troy doesn't
Data-
outrank anybody, but
Data
she
is
does.
like
but
third
she
in command, right?
Yeah, she does
Data's-
have the authority to be like you're not mentally well.
Lieutenant Commander Data, I think, is
Great.
third, and then after that is shucks.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
think-
so that's pretty high then. Okay, well either way, yeah. So he mains the helm, which is he's
Yeah.
piloting.
So
So
I'll do lieutenant commander.
Okay.
Yeah. My last value was trust in other strengths as much as your own.
perfect. And you rounded out your character's disciplines and attributes.
Yeah, mine are pretty straight across the board. Lowest is an 8, highest is an 11.
Okay,
The control is 10, reason's 11.
perfect.
Oh, medicine is 4 for me, and science is 3, engineering is 2.
What about
Times
fitness?
five.
Out of curiosity, what's your fitness?
9.
Okay, interesting. All right, so yeah, you're the pilot, Vibes McGee. I like it.
Sweet.
Excellent.
I'll send you this PDF, Bob.
Great. And we are going to put all these PDFs in a little drive, and I'll put it in the description once we actually complete the episode. And then also we're going to be, so actually Data is third in command in the ship. Yeah, so he actually is pretty high. I was mistaken. Doesn't mean you're third in command. It just means that that's your rank. Okay, so now we'll put these in a drive so that people can take a look at them once this session 0 is over, and also post them in the links of all the games that we play.
Cool.
All right, Joey.
Okay, so I went with I guess a commander.
Commanding officer.
Yeah, like I am an executive officer, not a commanding officer.
Oh, executive. Okay.
Executive officer. But my rank is commander, so I guess I'm like number 2.
Yeah.
Or
Do you want to be number 2?
I think so.
Who does number 2 work for then?
Um, yeah, no.
You're the
If
captain's
that's-
second in
that's-
command. Yeah.
Is that cool? Is
Yeah,
that
you're
okay?
the Riker. Yeah, you're the Riker.
So I guess I'm the first officer.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, that's fine.
I wrote all my values down at the end, so I'll just say it. My values are like the autonomy of others. The higher ups don't know what they're doing. Life above protocol, and violence solves nothing except when it does.
Oh, what a contradiction. Okay. Okay. So yeah, you're second in command. You are number 2 on the ship, which means that if something were to happen to the captain, you take over.
In theory, yeah.
In theory, unless somebody overstepped you, they sent an admiral or another captain in to deal with something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's great. Okay, so good. So we got Joey second in command.
My should I say my attributes?
Oh yeah, what'd you round out to? Yeah.
So 9 control, 9 daring, 7 fitness, 9 insight, 11 presence, and 11 reason.
Okay, I like it. I like it a lot. Your disciplines?
5 command, 2 security, 2 science, 2 con, 1 engineering, and 4 medicine.
Okay, excellent. I love it. I love these characters so far. John, keep the train rolling here.
All right. Well, my name is Thaddeus Bow.
Yes.
How do you spell bow?
Beau. The only way you'd spell bow.
now,
Now Thaddeus on his on a pod is a little bit of a contradiction. It's a Thadous.
Oh my god. What a travesty.
Thaddeus Bow? I don't know
Thaddeus Bow.
what you humanoids are talking about, but us betazoids only spell Thaddeus in one way.
Down in the bayou.
It's pronounced bow.
Now, I suppose.
I say.
Oh, very much not doing that, Joey. Thank you. That is very much not 5151.
All right, so we got Thaddeus Bow, the Betazoid,
Sorry.
and what is your final assignment here?
Thaddeus Bow is the chief of security.
Okay.
And as chief of security, Thaddeus Bow has been given the rank of commander. As apparently randomly selected by the generator. Those were both just picked by my attributes, I suppose.
Sure, yeah.
And my values are: you do not need to fight the battles you do not need to fight. Patience is a virtue. Anyone can be a threat, and protect one's friends.
Yeah, actually, I don't think the computer chose that randomly. It's just the first one. I think you pick whichever
Okay.
one you want. But you can totally be you could be a commander, although it's up to you. You can pick. So I think Worf, who's eventually chief of security, is a lieutenant commander, right?
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah, he might not even be lieutenant commander at the start of the show. Yeah.
But no, he's second in command behind
Worf or Riker?
Worf. No, Worf is not even the original security.
Oh, yeah. Natasha Yar, obviously, yes. But yeah, exactly. So you can pick whatever you'd like. You can be a lieutenant. You could be a lieutenant commander. Now, I don't know the reason why commander will be an option here because I guess it doesn't really matter. But you can pick whatever you'd like, whatever your rank would be. You'd outrank some people, then you'd outrank Nate if that was the case.
I guess maybe that's something I need to look more into. I definitely do not want to be annoying about that.
No, it's fine.
I should not be outranking like the captain. But like I feel like security officer, like I feel like Worf is like 4th or 5th.
Yeah, but remember, if you got downgraded, you do have a high authority. You just are on this lousy POS.
That's true. I guess that kind of fits it.
Which might make you conflict with Joey's character, who's in a more traditional command role.
I think that could be fun, Joey.
Yeah, I think so. One's really from Louisiana. The other's from an alien planet that's just like Louisiana.
Wait,
So
Every time I click
what assignment did you pick?
he picked chief
security officer,
Chief of security? Oh, okay.
chief of security.
Well, it's an option. It wouldn't be an option if it was impossible. So go ahead, pick it, and we'll move on. What's your last value?
Protect one's friends
Okay, perfect.
at all costs.
There we go.
Every time I click export to PDF, though, it's giving me an error. So I'm going to keep trying this one.
No, it's fine. You just have to click send anyway. That does for me too.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Okay, so we go to Stefano. What do you got for your assignment and your last abilities?
Well, I'll take a little help. So what has already been picked for the assignment?
Security,
Chief of Security,
executive officer,
Executive Officer.
and Nate. What'd you pick again? Flight controller.
flight controller. Yes.
And Steph, I'm assuming you're going to be Chief Engineer.
Yeah, I was planning on that one.
All right. Then I like Operations Manager.
What does it say you do?
The Operations Manager manages and oversees all technical operations aboard or involving the ship.
Normally from the
From the operations station on the bridge or in conjunction with the Chief Engineer.
Oh, this actually works out really well.
We're gonna be besties.
Yeah. You might end up taking on other roles too, like that of a science officer, or if somebody's absent or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, if there's no senior,
that sounds like something that he would be like, oh, we're making you the operations manager.
Yeah. Okay.
You're gonna oversee everything.
Which actually might make him, feel like he's inclined to comment on everything.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so go with the operations manager. You handle the day to day. Maybe you handle scheduling, shifts, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
I want to interact with everyone.
Good. And any notable values or anything else? And maybe your rank might not be so high though, because like you are, nobody ever liked you in Starfleet. You never got the promotions you wanted.
As a veteran, it said I had to be at least lieutenant commander.
There you go. That seems right.
So I'll pick that one.
Okay. And then go ahead. Yeah.
The values, the two that I wrote down, I'm gonna work on these though.
Okay.
The two that I wrote down are: if you can't fix it, kick it. And you might not agree with everyone you meet, but the mission's objective is paramount.
Gotcha.
And on the last one, just because you said, did you write that for your value as a joke? I just wrote, I was born for this.
Oh, that's perfect.
And then I have a fourth one that's TBD.
Okay.
The other thing I did want to mention, as I was continuing to go through the career events, since I'm a veteran, I actually got 2.
Okay.
So I did pick the conflict with a hostile species.
Oh, so you picked both? Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's what you get to choose.
Do you have an idea
you get
of what
to choose 2 no matter what?
No,
you do get to choose 2.
You don't. You get to choose depending on whether you're young, junior, the younger,
Well,
middle.
I checked. If even the young officer gets 2 career events.
I got 2 as well.
Okay,
I
never
just
mind.
picked engineering, Marvel, or whatever it was. That made sense.
Even better then. Okay, great. And
I'm
so,
still working on name, but my first name is going to be Karst. Karst.
Karst. How else would you spell it? So
I don't know.
no, I'm saying that's it. That's the only way to spell it. You didn't have to spell it out. We knew it.
Very
I didn't know there was the one true spelling of Karst out
Karst.
there.
That's it.
I, for one, thought there was a silent P in the middle of the word.
Yeah,
You would.
it's actually Karpst.
Karpst.
I thought you were just pronouncing cursed with an accent.
And the reason why I got into a hostile situation was because they kept calling me Carp, and I didn't like it. I kept using the silent P.
That's as good as reason as I've ever heard to punch someone in the back of the face. I agree. I defend your right.
I love this.
I like this guy.
I like all these guys here. And Steph, actually, before we jump to your character, just a couple of notes from the chat here. It looks like we have some people who are commenting on the ranks and stuff like that. So obviously, things will change over this show. This series is, people do get promotions and things like that. And Wayne just posted chain of command and command rank also don't necessarily match. So you don't have to be the highest ranking officer in chain of command. I think it's when there is the chain of command breaks down, it'll go to rank. Like there's the one episode where Troy ends up being in command because I forget what the name of the episode was. One of those crazy ones where Picard's with the kids. Do you remember this one, Joey?
Yes.
It's like the
He gets
science
locked
fair
in the
winners.
elevator?
Yes,
Is that
they
the
get
one?
locked in the elevator and he's got to escape the elevator.
Yeah,
So-
no one can leave, and she's like the only one on the bridge.
Yes. Yeah. So she ends up being the leader, even though she has like very little experience commanding. But anyway, a side point there. But Steph, what did you get for your last part here?
So my name is Tahal. Just one word as traditional Vulcan.
Cool.
Chief engineer. My character's rank is lieutenant, junior grade. That's the only thing I'm allowed as a young engineer.
So you're not the
that's-
chief. You're not the chief engineer then.
So
Well, if
I
it's
guess
the only,
not, but it's the only option
Yeah.
for
that-
me, chief engineer. But
If
I'm
it's-
technically lieutenant, junior grade.
Gotcha.
So
Maybe that's all
actually,
the ship has.
Yeah, Joey's right. Actually, right. You could, in theory, you went with chief engineer or no?
yes.
So you
Yeah,
are
you
the
could-
chief engineer. You're just that's all we've got.
I'm it. Oh
I
no.
think that's all we need.
The,
He's
the
really doing
intern.
it all.
or
she's got,
you're like a
Captain.
particularly exceptional young like officer
Yeah.
who was like, you know what, this might be like a bad ship and a bad crew or whatever, but I'm gonna be the chief engineer of this ship. I'm gonna have like ranking over people who are like under my like rank in theory.
Yeah.
You could
Yeah.
do
Oh, yeah.
it could have been offered to you as like a sort of
Oh, I jumped on this opportunity because I'm
Right.
like, this is great.
This is a chance to prove
I
yourself.
helped-
yeah.
I helped build this ship. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Ready for this.
Dr. Bashir in Deep Space Nine, he actually
Yes.
comes like the reason why he wants to go to Deep Space Nine in the first place is because he's like, I want a challenge. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. He's basically the in charge of the base. So in terms of medical. So yeah, he went for a better position, but on the farthest, possible command.
Frontier.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, that's works.
Steph, do you think you're like trying to make a name for yourself?
I think I'm just excited to be invited to the table. Like that's because like I had mentioned earlier, I guess I held the flashlight for so long that like, oh man, Dad's letting me actually like turn the wrench now. I got this. So
This makes sense. I think it all makes sense. Last value for you?
So my value are gadgets are better than friends. Focus will get it done. Everything is easily fixable. My last one is a well-coordinated team makes for a smooth flight. So, I think.
Bravo. I like these values.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, just to summarize here, what we've gone over here, we've created all the characters. Everyone send me their PDFs, email them to me, and I will create a little drive. But we have our crew here of the USS HMS Beagle. Every time it gets me here. This is the refitted Intrepid class, which now has a second set of what was our upgrade here? A secondary reactors. It's been refitted, reprogrammed. It's not the greatest ship. It's definitely it was a passion project of some of the engineers, and your character, Steph, has been selected to be the chief engineer. In charge, we'll see who our captain is next week, but your captain is going to be Captain Mediocre. He's going to be great. You have a second in command, which is Joey, your character. Do we have a name for your character?
Yaren Miller.
Yaren Miller from Louisiana, the human. The chief engineer is the junior lieutenant grade junior. What's your character's name again?
Tahal?
Tahal. Are you female?
Yes.
Tahal. Yaren Miller, second in command. Chief of security is going to be Mr. Bo. No, what's his name? Thaddeus Bo.
My name is Thaddeus Bo. Thank you very much.
Yes, our Betazoid Empath Security Officer, Chief of Security. And then we've got Nate. Your character's name was Vibes?
Yep.
Vibes
McGee.
Vibes McGee, the helmsman.
It's amazing.
The helmsman of the HMS Beagle.
Captain, how we're steering by vibes.
And rounding
Dude, just
out,
let the wind take us, bro.
let the wind in space take it. And then to round out this crew, the operations manager. Stefano, what's his name?
Karst.
Karst.
This is gonna be good. I'm very excited.
Oh my god, I can't wait for next week.
The
Wow.
first and final week of Star Trek Adventures on Tabletop, Bob.
Tune in for the finale next week.
We've gotten good at rolling these. We'll do better next time.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You didn't have to roll any stats, so that's good. You've all created your characters. We created the ship, which I think is actually good to create the ship first. It kind of gave us a little bit of a sense of what we need to do. And then the only things left is to just preface what's going to happen next week. Next week, we are going to be meeting for the official session 1 or episode 1. It's going to be next week on Tuesday at 8:30. And this, I foresee this going, and I know I'm famous or infamous for saying this, but I think it's going to go for 3 episodes because the way it's structured is like a TV show. So there's Act 1. It's legitimately all the adventures are broken up into Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. And I think that's basically the way it's going to go with our sessions here. So we're going to go with Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. And obviously we have to change some things up, we do it. But we're going to run this for the next 3 weeks or so. I hope you tune in to see the voyages of the USS the Beagle. We'll call it the Beagle. Yeah, the Beagle for short. Stay tuned for the voyages of the Beagle. Anything else before we sign off, everybody?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure HMS stands for Holy Moly Ship, by the way.
Yes.
Definitely not Her Majesty ship. No.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Hey, chase your burritos, people. Don't pass one up.
All right, so we will see you all next week, Tuesday, 8:30. Thank you for watching. We'll see you all on the tabletop. Have a great night.
Night, everyone.
Live long and prosper.
Yeah.